Invader, this is for the invader. Invader, sitting home the invader. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Where the fuck am I going? Who the hell could I be? All this time I've been lost. Vessel trapped in the sea. Chains holding my legs. I just want to be free. Fist picking my throat. Hell yeah, and they know it. Heritage keep going. You can see it in my phenotypes and that damn Indian showing. This knowledge keeping me steady. 45 on my hip and my armor man stay ready. I hit the streets in my Chevy. Blunt, burn as much smoke in heaven. Man, here you go, I got plenty. Prayers up for a sentence. In the land I lost many. Cause every nigga ain't feeling. And every man ain't melling. No D-bows but Stelling. No heroes for my family. While the pigs killing us daily. Invader, this is for the invader. Invader, send home the invader. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Invader, this is for the invader. Invader, send home the invader. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Where the fuck do you come from? Kidnapping our babies. 11 million abortions. Whole country is scorched. Niggas stealing my portion. Bitch, give me my land back. We ain't signed no contracts. Why you wasting all of our trust funds? We don't know who your dad is, but we know who your kid is. Take the food off of my plate. Eat that shit with my phone. You invader. You motherfucking invader. Invader. This is for the invader. Invader, send home the invader. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Invader, this is for the invader. Invader, send home the invader. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Hey ya, 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 hey ya. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Make sure y'all hit that like button, share the live stream. It's your brother Big Aboriginal Power, man. Good to see y'all in the chat this Grand Rising. Shout out to Pop Reed in the building. India God, the Snake God. I'll be back with y'all in just a second, you guys. Invader, this is for the invader. Invader, sitting home the invader. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Hey ya, 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 hey ya. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. To the Most High. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Hopefully y'all feeling grand. This great grand ride. I got a nice little bill for y'all. Got some audio set up. Hopefully y'all checking out the thumbnail. I hope y'all pay attention to that picture. That's a National Archive photo of Montezuma. And the reason I put that red arrow in the background to highlight the magnificent structures and buildings that look like your downtown city area today. It looks just like downtown. This shit was built in the 1500s already. I just want to let y'all know that. I just want to reiterate that before we even continue with the build. Shout out to all the American Aborigines. Shout out to my FBA brothers and sisters in the chat. Let's continue this thing on now, you guys.
So dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them townhomes. What's a native to a native? He $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale face faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children, give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God of Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turned on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to somethings. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. Say you wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. You stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the sauce. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust the pastor who rather side with the master, who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God, it's never our vernacular. They get
long as they keep us stagnant. Hey, that's one of the most firest bars. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We'll be right back. Shout out to everybody in again, man. Let's try to get this thing smacking. We're trying to get some fire information out. Let's try to get it going. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I do got some nice audio put together for you guys. So let's try to get that locked in immediately. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hopefully everybody's having a great, blissful day. I need y'all to drop those fire emojis in the chat for me. Let me know everything is loud and clear. Clear on your end. Appreciate that, you guys. How y'all feeling out there this Grand Rising? Y'all ready to get to the audio? And the disdain and false narrative of history on our people. So Somalian power, we about to get to you Somalians in a minute. We about to get to y'all starving, skinny selves in just a second. Y'all don't go nowhere. I'll be right with you, starving, skinny, and goddamn Somalians in a minute. Y'all fuckers just sit there and bear with me. It ain't gonna take that goddamn long. Let me load up this next little audio I got for you guys. They're not trying to let me load it. So hopefully we can get that cracking immediately. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's get straight to some of this audio that I have lined up for you guys. So let's get right into that. Shout out to everybody in the chat. This is a conversation from a Congolese woman, and she's gonna speak her disdain towards us Aboriginal foundational Americans. Let's get into that conversation right now.
And when you
all right, let's go
into this space as well, but it's kind of heartbreaking to have someone a leader and that has this type of pull and has so many people listening to them, but you have these many microaggressions in the way that you speak about Africans. Because I do understand, like, there are a lot of Africans that have that mindset because it's been drilled in, but there are a lot of African Americans, or if you prefer to be called Black Americans, I do apologize.
Foundational Black Americans. Aboriginal Americans. The first foundational, you know what I'm saying? It's foundational Black Americans.
Foundational Black Americans, my apologies. Foundational Black Americans. You have that. Yes, I understand. But
hey, man, listen, we 15 minutes in the video. We got 139 people in here. Let's try to bring in like 400 people in this chat. So in order to do that, I'm going to need y'all to hit the like button and share this on all your social media outlets. Let's go.
You are at this very moment speaking of a group. It's a group of people that have a collective mindset. But you can't compare Africa, the continent, and then say, okay, yeah, some people have that, like as just a way to explain it at the end, when you yourself are only talking about a group of people in America who also have that mindset. But as a collective, as Black people, as a collective, that ain't the deal. Because you still have Black people as a collective that also make the remarks that you make. But on top of that, they still call us African booty scratchers. You still have the Black.
Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Because I was one, you kept using the term microaggression, and it kept coming across like a projection. That when I hear the African booty scratcher remark, that's always something that's used to justify a lot of the microaggressions that comes from African immigrants to foundational Black Americans.
I'm not justifying it though. I said I understand that it's coming from this side, but I'm also saying that it's coming from your side as well. From the conversation, or I shouldn't say conversations, from what you have said, it's sounding like it's one-sided, but
it's
there needs to be
one-sided. Let's be clear.
It's not though, but that's the thing. Where's your information coming from when you're saying it's one-sided?
It's one-sided because foundational Black Americans, two things you have to understand. Number one, we don't benefit from African immigrants or Caribbean immigrants or Latino immigrants, we don't benefit from any immigrants coming here. We have no benefit of it. It doesn't benefit us at all. So these are courtesy conversations. Not only do we not benefit, we're the ones who fight the most to help all of you get here.
Facts.
Let's be very clear on that. It is
Facts.
Foundational Black Americans who were the ones fighting to get African and Caribbean immigrants over here.
And now, since y'all been showing y'all this thing and how y'all really feel, we're not even going to help y'all with that no more. We're not standing up for no melanated people that's not American. Y'all got to hold your own nuts. The blind has been drawn. We are all we got. We only going to worry, protect, and elevate our people, nobody else.
Yeah, white folks were not letting y'all over in large numbers at all. It was us putting the pedal to the metal, making that happen. And we were doing that for one reason only, because we wanted people to come in as reinforcements to foundational Black Americans fighting against white supremacy. We knew you didn't have anything back home. We knew that you were going through colonialism.
Pause. That right. We knew you didn't have anything back home.
Right.
That sound?
That sounds like the truth, ma'am. That sounds like the truth.
At all? Like, what time frame are you referring to?
Okay. Let's be, now we're going to have to deal with truth. What do you have back home that foundational Black Americans are benefiting from?
No. My question to you is, you said, to clarify, why did you say we have nothing? I never asked what we have to benefit you or.
Okay, what were you benefiting yourself back home?
We have culture, we have people, we have resources.
What's your culture?
Culture?
What's your culture back home in the Congo? What is your culture?
I'm Congolese. So when it comes to Congolese people, we are very family oriented. We are also people of
we have that here. We have that here.
Yes, but my question to you is, why do you keep saying that we have nothing? Okay. You keep bringing up
what is your culture, man?
Yes, sir. But okay, right now you're answering my question with another question to justify how we benefit you. But my question,
ma'am, you're gonna have to slow down now. Now we're gonna have to slow down. We're gonna have to take this very slow. We're gonna take this very slow. Now you said, well, we have culture, and I hear people say that. What is your culture?
Bitch, we are the culture. Hip hop, swag, talking, just our presence is the culture. What we think in creativity and imagination shows the way we implement it in manifestation. That is the culture. You guys in the chat are the culture. Foundational Americans, Aboriginal American, people who classify as Moorish or more that's from America. You are the foundation of this continent. You have built everything. Go look at the thumbnail of the picture of Montezuma in the 1500s. You see the same buildings in that photograph rendition that you see in your downtown local areas today, which has been used as the political, as municipality places, Mason halls, art museums, or national archives. These buildings was built here and put here by your ancestors.
Stop there.
Don't
Let's
tell
take
us
care
what
of
the
that
fuck
first
the
before
But
culture
you
is.
didn't answer my first question though, because my question was, why do you keep saying we have nothing? What is the nothing?
I asked you what you have. You don't have anything of value there because you had to leave, right?
No. That's not the reason. There you go. So you're saying that we have nothing in value because we had to leave. That is not the choice that we had. So a lot of people do not have a choice. I had to leave because my father was an American citizen, and because of the war in '98 in my country, we had to leave because of that. It wasn't because there was nothing there for us. Everything was there for us. Our families there for us. A lot of people still cry to this day because of the way America is set up, and it's very hard to go back home.
No, it's not.
But there's a lot of us as well.
Okay, ma'am. No, you're not going to say something that's incorrect. It is not hard for you to go back home. You choose not to. Let's stop playing. I'm not being microaggressive.
Choose not to, sir.
Yeah, you can go back home, but you don't want to go back home, ma'am. It's not.
No, I very much.
Ma'am, let's stop playing games. It's not popping over there. It's just not popping.
It's not cracking.
Right? It's not popping at home. Is it?
It's only popping over here. The party's here. But guess what? You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the fuck out of here. Yeah, all y'all foreigners, y'all ain't got to go home, but y'all got to get the fuck out of here. This is the foundational American spot only at the door. It should say colored only at the door.
I'm supposed to answer if you knew, and then you're going to say it's not popping.
Because I'm not going to let you rant, because you want to go on a rant tangent.
Sir, it's very much popping. If you saw...
How?
You keep muting when I'm actually answering you. Did you not see the whole festival that happened in Ghana, for one? In Congo, when it comes to my country, there are special, I can't even say special. You can go to many cities, and then from the cities that you go to, me myself, Kinshasa, the first one to go to, beautiful landscape. You can, when it comes to residency, you can buy land. I'm in the process of doing that right now. I'm trying to build another village. I'm trying to go back and build the orphanage that my mom had. So all of this that is happening, you're saying that there's nothing popping back home. Right. I'm choosing not to go home. No, I want to go home. I very much want to go home.
Man,
but I know
ma'am, slow it down. I'm muting you because you're going to have to slow down. We're going to have to tackle.
I very much so want to go home. Well, what the fuck is taking you? It's 100 flights going to Africa today, 16 cruise ships, and maybe you can find 4 Mexicans in a raft that'll get you there for a little cheaper than all that. But the more of the problem is, it's a fucking boat ready to go. I will create a boat called the Marcus Garvey African Getaway Cruise Ship, and I will pay for you fuckers to go. Us Aboriginal Foundation Americans will pay for your cruise ship back to Africa. I think that'll be a beautiful place. Y'all get to have fun on a cruise ship, eat food, drink on your way to goddamn Africa.
What you're saying, what you just described ain't popping. If you have to build an orphanage, that means it ain't popping, man. Let's stop playing. You just said you had to build an orphanage. Orphanages that means it ain't popping where you are. That means the parents ain't there. That means parentless kids. Where there's parentless kids, things aren't popping, ma'am.
Do people not build orphanages in America? That's my way of helping. You said earlier, what are you going to do when you go back home to help? Everything that I can. So if I myself...
Hey, ma'am, you're going all over the world. You're riding the bike in a circle. Listen, I stand by the initial term. I said it wasn't popping there, and we knew it wasn't popping there. Y'all didn't have nothing going on over there, especially right after colonialism. You didn't. And you're sitting up here trying to kind of massage your ego. Nothing was popping over there, ma'am. It's okay to admit that. Y'all get off this stuff where y'all trying to talk it up.
The rumble in the jungle. What was the rumble in the jungle then?
Muhammad Ali, and with
why did I go back to them?
Because our brother, great question, ma'am. Foundational Black Americans, we were the ones wanting to elevate our African brothers and sisters.
But y'all was Yeah, we wanted to elevate y'all, but y'all so weak and docile. We was like, man, you better off training a baboon besides getting these docile ass Africans. We don't fuck with y'all weak motherfuckers. Stinking long feet, little neck ass motherfucker. We don't fuck with y'all Africans like that. Our hands be looking like nothing but knuckles. Y'all got the craziest palms I ever seen on the motherfucking human being. We ain't fucking with y'all. Smelling like fish guts and monkey meat. We do not allow foreign tethers to speak on behalf of us. Show your disdain and stand up for it. Shout out to the American Aborigines in the chat. If we got some proud Aborigine Americans, foundational Americans, drop them fire emojis in the chat. How about that?
He said rumble in the jungle.
What?
That's what he said.
Hold on, you're breaking up, ma'am. Go ahead.
What did Muhammad Ali say in Rumble in the Jungle? It's actually filmed. He didn't say to elevate. He said we need to get in contact and connection with our people. And because specifically of our common enemy here, or I shouldn't say enemy because they're also allies, but that white supremacy that we're talking about. So that is well documented. The Rumble in the Jungle, if people want to see, there's also a concert that occurred at the same
with
time.
James Brown. I know, ma'am. I'm very familiar with it.
Yes, but there's also a documentary that goes alongside with it. So it has a background. I do apologize, the name evades me, but it also has Miriam Makeba on it as well. And it basically goes into the conversation that Muhammad Ali had with his manager alongside when it comes to publicists. And they were talking about how they wanted to go home. And you have these fundamental Black Americans, right, that are wanting to go home to connect with the people in that country. They're not saying that those people do not.
Niggas trying to go over there because they think that they Africans due to indoctrination. Sorry, but a lot of our ADOS brothers think like that. And some of our FBA brothers think that we came from Africa, but we never came from Africa. But if you came from Africa, that means you just one of the first immigrants here. So if we dealing with immigrants, then we should be dealing with y'all. But y'all not even Africans. Y'all just think y'all African. This is all part of the plan of indoctrination. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. That's why I'm so smooth with this shit. They can't get none of this bullshit over on us. Especially me. If I catch it, y'all got it. If I catch, I'm gonna tell y'all the plan what they doing. They on bullshit. We never came from that place, man. We never came from that place, man. Montezuma was a Negro, man. Them cities already was built here. I got another audio I got loaded up right after this one. We're gonna get into the conversation, but even this Italian white man talking about they built America. Come on.
And that's untapped. We can bring capital. We have access to resources over in America. Why don't y'all open the doors for us and give us dual citizenship with no red tape? Nobody was really biting.
No, FBAs are not immigrant. That's a fact. I agree with that. I'm just saying, according to the narrative. You see what I'm saying?
Just the reality of it, ma'am. We can sit up here and talk all that kumbaya shit. They weren't biting on it. And that was the least they can do for us, because we don't get anything from this whole Pan-African thing. This Pan-African thing has been one-sided. Pan-African is basically foundational Black Americans fighting to get everybody to come over here and eat off us. That's what it's been for the last 60 years. It has been one-sided.
Did you say that one more time? Or excuse me, rephrase that?
I said Pan-Africanism, the whole Pan-Africanism thing has been one-sided. Sided only. Us over here fight to help everybody come over here and eat off us, and we get nothing in return, ma'am. Is that true or not true?
So earlier you said that you're fighting to bring us over so that we can all work against white supremacy.
Right. Is that true or not true? Is that true or not?
But then you said fuck all that kumbaya shit. Is that correct?
Ma'am, is that true? Okay, you deflecting means I'm gonna take that as what I said was true. You deflect.
No,
I'll take that as you admitted that I said it was true.
Questions instead of answering my question. And it's crazy because the people that are listening are also commenting to me and telling me, yeah, girl, I see you. But okay.
I don't know who's doing that, but yeah, I asked you a question.
And it's the muting when I'm responding as well.
No, I'm not gonna let you rant, ma'am, because you're just kind of going all over the place, and I want to stay on topic. Because you're deflecting a lot, ma'am. You're doing a lot of deflecting, ma'am. And I just want you to be on topic here.
Okay, what's the topic? Go ahead.
Okay, the topic was Pan-Africanism, ma'am. It is one-sided, is it not?
I don't think so.
Okay, what have you done over in the continent to welcome foundational Black Americans in large numbers?
In large numbers, connect them with my family, and then connect them with families in other countries as well. So we have some, I'm not going to go into detail, but we have some families that have started either oil companies or they're attempting to start agricultural companies, but we're going from state to state. So they're basically families here in America that are also considered fundamental Black, African American. They have different titles. Some of them say African American. I just want to clarify that. And we have worked together and we are building back home, but it's not in just one country. It's multiple countries within Africa. And then we also are opening up that line of dialect, or excuse me, not dialect, that line of communication to where we are bringing that problem that we have, where we both have had that discussion that, hey, I know my people or people from the continent where I'm from, they have a lot of things against you, but it's because of what's been, and then same on this side as well. And having that line and understanding and not using derogatory terms or saying that things are sided, and just having that open understanding that let's have this conversation, because if we continue to say things are one-sided, you're going to have more people that are going to have closed ears than open ears, more people that are going to have closed hearts than open hearts. So what's the point of having a platform and having the ability to actually make change if all you're going to do is create more turmoil? Because that little piece of doubt, that is what starts a fire. It just takes one little spark.
But they can come over here and tell us what the fuck is going to start a spark over there. But you can come and speak and undermine us and potentially take away from the progression of Americans just by your presence being here and tell me what sparked something? Ma'am, can you please calm down? You are a Congolese con artist at this point. And you're spewing a bunch of hatred and vitriol towards the American Aboriginal or the so-called foundational Black American. We must stand up for what is rightfully ours. We are not having an identity crisis like you guys are. We know rightfully who we are and what is rightfully ours and what needs to be protected by us. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Ma'am, this is why I mute you, ma'am. You just said a bunch of nothing. I'm trying to be as polite as possible. All you did, ma'am, was spew a bunch of catchphrases. You just said a bunch of nothing burgers, ma'am. You literally sat here and just...
Yeah, a nothing muffin. Hey, and I'm going to be teeter-totting back and forth between the Congolese conversation and the Italian men. Let's get to the Italian men conversation.
There's children working. There's nobody.
Let's get to the Italian
Scarface.
men. Let's get to it.
Speak on it.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man? We
drop those fire emojis in the chat, man. Let's try to bring 500 people in the chat. In order to do so, I'm gonna need each and every one of you guys listening to be able to share the live stream, hit the like button. Most importantly, share the live stream. Make sure y'all go tag someone on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at me, follow me.
We have a Caucasian man here.
Well, I'm Italian. I'm Southern Italian.
Same.
So it's a little different.
I know. It's still Caucasian, but y'all still got that Moorish blood. Are you Sicilian or what part of it?
Nabliadan, Sicilian, yeah. But I'm also from New York City. It's a whole different. New York City is a whole culture in and of itself.
No doubt.
You know? So if you don't know, I'll school you on that. No doubt. You know, I don't even know where you're from.
Yeah,
to be honest.
What's on your mind?
But definitely don't just group me in with Caucasian, bro. Southern Italians had it very rough. They were called the N-word. They were lynched. You sound like you know a lot about history, so
yeah, I know that. I know that they called you guineas. They called you guineas when you came.
They called us the N-word too.
I know, and Guinea is word for African.
So exactly. Thank you. 100%. Where are you from, by the way? I'm curious. Where are you from?
But you mentioned the lynching. As far as being lynched, you guys got paid for that. They gave y'all reparations, and they had to pay off Italy. So they had to apologize to the Italian government after they lynched the Italians. I think that was down in Louisiana, where they did.
What year was that?
Sometime in the 1800s. They did a mass lynching of a lot of Italians because the Italian
mass lynching was around 1891.
Right.
I'm not mistaken.
Right. It was in 1800s, like I said. 1800s, and it was down
I'm
in
talking about the reparations. When did the reparations come?
that. I'm not sure, but I know it came pretty soon because they had to apologize to the Italian government, and they had to pay the family of the people who were lynched. So, but anyway, what's going on?
Well, they fucked the Italians anyway in 1924 with the Immigration Act that basically stopped all immigration from southern Italy at that time.
Yeah, but they started letting you be white around that time too, around 19.
Yeah, that's when a lot of these Italians was quit being called Guineas and Wops, which Guinea means loose African. So they call Italians loose African. That's weird. So they had these derogatory terms until the industrial and the workforce allowed these people in as white members. So once they got accepted in as recognized as white, that's when you started seeing the Italians control the police force and the firefighters and all that up there in the north dealing with the union. That's how you become the white union workers.
No, it's really after World War II.
Right.
The Italians fought in World War II that they started doing that.
Yeah, they started the
but there were also guys that started getting prominence in the 1930s that were encouraging Italian Americans to assimilate and, but there's a lot of, actually, you were kind of leading into where I'm going.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, big bro. They the Afrikaners. They are the true African or the African American or the Afrikaner.
But this, which is that, these Italian Americans also paved a lot of the ways for Black Americans.
Not really. Go ahead.
Well, you had the anarchists as early as 1901 that were, using violence against oppressors and tyrants. There's a lot of different ways. There was Vito, what was his name again? Mark Cantonio, who was, ran, most of the neighborhoods in New York that were Italian, that are Black now, were used to be Italian.
Well, the thing is, the thing is, the Italians would actually, when they commit crimes, they would oftentimes hide in Black neighborhoods. And they would hide from the authorities, especially during the 1930s, when they had that big crime wave with, Babyface Nelson, Dillinger, and that whole crime.
Do y'all remember the Babyface shit? Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? Is what I'm asking. I remember that. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, these people be showing so much hate and disdain towards our people that it's really crazy. You feel what I'm saying? They do anything they can to stop our flow. They don't want us to come together. They don't want us to recognize that they are not our people and that these people don't like us. They will die before they rather see some shit like that. They will kill you fuckers before they let some shit like that happen. Seriously. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's really hard for our people to take position and ownership because you have so many foreign tethers speaking on behalf of us, lying about our history or spewing the same false narrative that the European colonists put on us. We really got to watch our steps. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I want to say it one more time. If you're a proud FBA, if you're a proud Aboriginal American, please drop those fire emojis in the chat. That let me know y'all listening to me loud and clear. Make sure y'all drop those fire emojis loud and clear. Let's get to it.
Italians and a lot of them would hide. The mafia would hide in Black neighborhoods. So I wouldn't say they did anything.
I don't know. I'd have to get some kind of resource on that. Yeah, I'd never heard about that.
Yeah. I wouldn't think they actually helped us because they came over and benefited.
Well, sure. I mean, look up Vito Marcantonio. He's the guy that was running Harlem in the 1930s. He was a very early civil rights activist. He, pushed for a lot of that. I mean, it wasn't for the Italian Americans are the ones that got all the labor laws passed. Well, before the labor laws, there was a horrific abuse of all the Americans that were working during the Industrial Revolution. When the factories went up, they were losing 10% of their workforce a week to debt. They were losing 10%. They had children working. Nobody gave a fuck. They had them working 18, 20 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week. So the Italians fought for the labor laws,
but that wasn't
Black Americans benefited from.
But that wasn't for Black people, though.
Yeah, Black Americans benefited from it, though.
But we benefited from our own labor, though. As foundational Black Americans, we benefited from our own labor. We built the country, so we benefited from our own labor.
Well, you didn't build the cities. The Italians built the cities, and the Irish, and you know, all the cities that Black Americans migrated to by choice in the early 1900s. They did the same thing that you're saying that the African immigrants are doing.
If the Italians did that, why didn't they build the shit in Italy?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop this video, man, because listen, I need 367 people to run down there and hit that like button round. Just thumb up the video. I need y'all to thumb up the video. Yeah, if y'all proud FBA, y'all really stand for this. Hey, we gotta hit the like button. Thumb up the video, y'all. Thumb up the video. Take 2 seconds. And it's free. You feel what I'm saying? Smack those like buttons.
They did. There's the Roman Empire. What are you talking about? They built a million things in Italy.
A zillion years ago. So and it's still raggedy now. The Roman ruins are still.
Well, they built the Bank of America, right?
Out in California, I know that.
But that was the first bank that actually provided money to people that were poor.
Why didn't they do all that?
We're talking about America right now. I don't care about Italy.
If they did all that, so why was Italy broke, poor, and funky?
We're talking about America right now.
Okay, but if you
I don't care about Italy. I don't know why you're bringing Italy up.
But if you're the one who said the Italians did all this stuff.
Italian Americans.
Why didn't they do that?
Who cares? What I'm talking about is how they helped they paved the way for Black Americans.
For Black Americans, they came over and benefited from the free labor and wealth generated by Black Americans.
No. The Black Americans moved to where the Italians and the Irish lived, and they took their jobs and they took their housing, and while they were fighting in World War I.
Stop it. We built.
Stop it. This is factual. This is factual.
You're revising history. Foundational Black Americans built a nation that immigrants
built. What nation? They were in 2-3 states. What are you talking? They were mostly in Virginia. What are you talking about? The North always outperformed the South.
Stop it.
If it wasn't for the North, you would still be in slavery. What are you talking about?
How so? Because now you're trolling.
Because the North won the war. What are you talking about, bro?
The North won the war because foundational Black Americans started fighting for the Union because the Union was losing. Go ahead. Because now
that again, I didn't hear the last thing you said.
Yeah, because what I'm not going to let you do is start trolling because you're trying to ramp up some trolling. So
I'm not trolling at all. This is all fact, bro.
The Union was losing the Civil War. The Confederates were beating the shit out of the Union. The only reason the Union won is because they started to recruit Black soldiers, sir. So it was the foundation.
That's not true.
They started to recruit sellouts. A lot of these sellouts was going to fight for the Union. A lot of your nigga ancestors down south, Confederates was fighting, fucking them up. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
But nobody's had more money than the
Stop. Not only that, Black people down in Florida were freeing themselves. They were destroying the plantations down in Florida, the Black Seminoles. So Black people were not only fighting in the South, they were fighting for the Union. So Black people were active in the freeing of themselves. So let's get history clear. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Scarface. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, you had me muted. I didn't say that there was no participation from Black Americans, but to act like Black Americans, there was way more people, quote unquote, white people in the North that were fighting that war. And it was the generals, it was the innovation with how to fight battles, it was the strategies, it was the technology that was created by white people that allowed us to win the war. And we fought for you. 600,000 people died.
You didn't fight for foundational Black Americans, sir. That wasn't a war for foundational Black Americans. The freeing of Black people came later on, but that wasn't the purpose of the Civil War. And you know this, sir.
The forgotten cause of the Civil War is because we didn't want to release white slaves. We didn't want to have to keep paying a tax all the time, over and over and over to some fucking people we don't even know because of our slaves, white slaves. They want to free the white slaves. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I will be whooping the dog shit at this Italian. First of all, Italians ain't even white like you, boy. So where the fuck your peoples come from? We know that them people was Negroes. Go back to the Roman Empire. You go back to the Macedonians. You go back to you feel what I'm saying? We know what the demographic of these people look like. This is an Afrikaner.
Let's be very clear. Every white person knows this.
That's not true. You think all white? I don't even understand why you refer to white as it's one thing. White's not unified in this country.
Yes, it is.
It's not unified at all.
Yes,
I don't know how you can say that.
Yes.
If you look at if you want to
Lucky Guzman. Yes, my family was Confederates, bro. 38 Regiment, Lookout Mountain. You understand me? Chickamauga, Blackfoot Mountain. That's Tennessee, the volunteer state. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lucky Guzman, you wouldn't know that because you are a Spaniardized wetback from the islands of Puerto Rico. So you wouldn't know anything about America, sir.
The same logic that you were.
Hold on. No, you're not going to babble here, sir. Let's go back into history. You're talking about New York had more money.
Yes, to maintain slavery. Do you know who was enslaved in the South? Do you know, you forgot? Have you read the book Forgotten Cause of the Civil War? No, because you still think black people was the dominant slave, dummy.
The North benefited from slavery too. The slave trade, a lot of it started really up there in Massachusetts. The financial sector of it. New York had slavery, sir. The entire nation benefited from foundational Black Americans, free labor. Is that true or not true, sir?
I'm sure there's truth to that. I'm sure there's truth to that, but you also, it's a symbiotic relationship.
No.
This dumb fucker thinks that the Confederate flag is something that the white man parades around and built up historically. No, man, that Confederate flag is being misused.
No, that's why, you know, at the end of the day, after the Civil War, the freed slaves were offered to go back to Africa, and they chose to stay.
Okay,
so, and then they migrated to where they were.
We gonna tell us to go back to Africa? Bitch, we never went to Africa. Some of you niggas might got African in you. It's out of all the slave trade, out of all the millions, quote unquote, that came from Africa, go look at your records. Only 3%, according to your records, 3% came to North America. Okay? So that means majority of blacks here are not slaves or not African descendants. You niggas African.
Day after the Civil War, the freed slaves were offered to go back to Africa, and they chose to stay.
Okay,
so, and then they migrated to where they were.
We weren't from Africa. Do you understand that? Let me say that again. Most of us were not from Africa.
Say it again.
Do you understand
Tariq.
that?
I don't think
I've heard your point. I've heard.
Talk about that Aboriginal shit, Tariq, because that's when you want to kill him. I notice every time he had these conversations, when Tariq bring up we Aboriginal, we not all African, he be smoking their game. So they can't get around it. They can't say that you came over here too. They can't say that all immigrants. No, that angle don't work when they understand that you're foundational, that you're Aboriginal, that you're been here.
Do you understand that? Let me say that again. Most of us were not from Africa. Do you understand that?
I've heard your point. I've heard you say it's the whole 3% thing, but that's irrelevant. The point is that statistic. No, that statistic means
it's not irrelevant. Most of us were not from Africa. Only 3% of the people who came from Africa came here. Most of us were indigenous to this land. That's why we didn't leave. That's why we didn't want to go to a foreign land. Does that make sense, sir? Mr. Scarface, does that make sense?
Look, that nigga ain't got nothing to say after that. After he did that, he fucked him up. That's why I say, y'all, I'm just saying, y'all peak, man. But that was where a lot of people's mind was. Once you start understanding that your people was the indigenous people here, the Aboriginal here, the gig is up.
Does that make sense, sir?
The gig is up, man.
Mr. Scarface, does that make sense?
Mr. Scarface.
When they say 3%, they mean the other 97% went to Brazil and the Caribbean.
Yes.
Not that only 3% of the slaves that were in America were from Africa. Sir, I don't understand what you're trying to say.
What do you mean you don't understand? Why
they have all the numbers. It started off in 1619, right? When you had 10-something people here and 20.
1619 is fake. No Africans came. Those people came from the Caribbean islands. In 1618 and 1617, under Oliver Cromwell, And London shipped out over 100,000, or excuse me, 20,000 slaves from London to the Virginia colonies, to which would become the Virginia colonies. Go look it up. Oliver Cromwell, 1617, white slavery was happening in America in the same place where he's saying Africans landed in 1617. You got white slaves being worked to death. They have the bones.
And then it became, eventually, there was a total of 300,000 slaves that were brought here, and they became 4 million by the Civil War. That's the fact.
There were already Black people here before 1619. That's documented by European.
Tiny amount, not anything that you're talking about.
There were lots of people over here, all over.
And it was tiny, so what? There was all types of people there. There was Italians there too. There was, so there were Mexicans there. There were Native Americans there, but they weren't there in large numbers.
There was no such thing as a Mexican.
There was no.
Oh, look at the John Rolfe letters.
Transatlantic slave trade. That's what you're saying.
Sir, stop gaslighting.
I'm not gaslighting. I don't understand what you're trying to make it like that there was nobody brought here.
You're making up straw man arguments, sir.
Straw man arguments for what?
There were Black people here thousands of years before the white supremacists came.
But there were also people that chose after the Civil War to go back to Africa Liberia? That they were going to form some kind of a...
They needed to civilize Liberia. This is the American colonization society setting up shop in Liberia, Sierra Leone, Cameroon, where they took Black Americans to help civilize, to help build. Just like the North needed the people from the South and their inventions and their creativity to help industrialize and build up the North. That's the same thing that the colonies needed to build up other places, not just in Liberia and Cameroon, but also in New Amsterdam, in Europe, also in Brothsworth, Europe, like at various different places. They was taking brothers and sisters from the Americas over there to colonize and civilize those people.
Only a handful of people went to Liberia. Most of us didn't go because we knew we were not from there, sir. The problem is, foundational Black Americans built this country, and the white supremacists tried to do it by themselves, and they all failed.
You'd have to really prove that. You're just saying something. I mean, the Union's advantages had to do with their enlarged industrial power and the political skills of its leaders.
Do you understand, before 1619, they tried to set up other European colonies in North America. Are you aware of that?
Before 1619, sure.
Yes. Do you know which ones they are? I know. I want to see if you know.
The Roanoke was the first colony that came here. The Roanoke people, over 100 people came here. And guess what happened less than a year later? None of them was around. You can't find evidence, a soul, bone, nothing. They not here no more. They was invaders. Saying home they came here. Go look it up. The history of the Roanoke tribe, the Roanoke colony that came here in Roanoke, what we call Roanoke, Virginia, or Roanoke, North Carolina. Go look it up. Over 100 of them came here and didn't make it to the next year.
Spain, there was the Portuguese were here before 1619.
And yes, they were. They came 1526. They had San Miguel del Guadalupe over in South Carolina, and they failed.
Right. And guess who was here in 1492? Columbus.
Columbus didn't come here. Also, Hernan Cortez and Mr. Vespucci, Mr. Vespucci made his way down to Florida, found the Ameri tribe of Florida, and named himself Amerigo Vespucci. See, these niggas are stupid. Y'all don't even know the history of America. Y'all think that's a white man term that a white man made up. No.
And what the hell was his name? The one that we named America after? The Italian?
Amerigo Vespucci.
They gonna get right to the Amerigo Vespucci. Just like I was telling, these niggas are stupid.
Your damn self. How you gonna pave the way for us?
I already thought, you're going to deny the influence of Italian Americans in this country.
Yes, you didn't do what
you're trying to tell me right now.
You didn't do a damn thing.
Half of Black culture right now has.
Stop it. but flood our communities with drugs. If we want to go there, you flooded black areas with drugs and then stole the number running game. It was black people who created the numbers game that the Italian mafia latched on to get money. Who influenced who, sir?
The black people didn't even come to New York City until 1915 for the first time. No, they took from the Italians. Prohibition was
black people were in New York in the 1600s documented. Black people have been in New York from the very beginning, sir. You're just spewing.
As a matter of fact, New York was called Amsterdam before it was called New York. Look up the history. It was called Amsterdam before it was called New York. And what's funny is that the place called New York, that we called New York, it wasn't called New York. Like I said, it was called Amsterdam. And the place that you hear called Amsterdam right now was called York. See how they did the switcheroonie? The place that we call New Amsterdam in Europe today used to be called York. The place that we call New York today used to be called Amsterdam. I'm just saying.
Troll nonsense. Black people were always in New York.
Go look it up.
Black people been in New York, and the mafia took the numbers game from foundational black Americans. The Jones brothers out of Chicago, Bumpy Johnson, all of these people, sir, you really need to understand.
Listen, if you go look at pictures of New York City in 1900s, it's all white faces, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Look at a census. Look at images and pictures. It's all white slums that were Irish and Italian. There were no labor laws under the Industrial Revolution, and those labor laws were made by Italian Americans, my friend. So if you can't respect that, then you're disrespecting. I think it's time the Italians need to come back together, to be honest, in this country and form a group, because
that nigga said the Italians need to come together and form a group. Bitch, I already got one. They called the mob. You need to form another one. Y'all failed at making your first group because y'all suck. Hey, this is the part where y'all hit the like button. We're gonna transition right back over to the Congolese woman conversation. Let's get back to the Congolese woman conversation. We'll be back to the white Italian in a second.
You literally sat here and just threw out some word salad. I asked you what y'all doing, and you start making up some stuff about some oil. You're just making stuff up off your head, man. Some oil and your family and connect. We got to get together and let's not have some doubt. Ma'am, this is called babbling. This is called babbling, ma'am. And what it is, a lot of you want to get in these spaces and you know you're not really bringing anything to the table. So when you don't bring anything to the table, y'all try to babble in order to mask this fact, ma'am. And that's the thing with us. We don't really like people coming around babbling incessantly, spewing a bunch of word salad and nothing burgers, knowing that you're not really bringing anything to the table. That's very passive aggressive.
You keep saying that we need to be together, but then you also talk about Africans as if we are a commodity, as if we are the slave to your movement. But that doesn't make any sense here.
Okay, now those kind of projections.
Is that not how you projected?
That's a projection, ma'am. And again, like I told the other gentleman from the motherland, that gets into the lying, scamming stereotype that I don't want y'all to do. Don't lie.
For all my Black people fundamentals out here, I love y'all for real. For real.
Foundational, not fundamental. Foundational Black Americans.
But fundamental.
Don't start lying, though, man. That's so beneath you.
How am I lying, though? Because how are you supposed to know my truth? You're telling me that I am a liar.
Yeah, because you're making stuff.
How am I making that up, though?
You're projecting.
How did I make up that my family is doing an active effort to build the community within my village? I can also drop a picture right now if you want to see how my granddad's achieved. So if you want the proof is there. We got pictures, we got documents. But if you want that, it is there. The same way I asked for the link, I can drop the link. But my question is, how am I lying? You a person I just...
Okay, because you... Okay, let's going back to your granddad, because you lied about something else and then you took it back to your granddad. So your granddad building something in the village, what does that have to do with Foundation of Black Americans, fam?
I said my granddad is a chief. You said that I was a liar. So I brought up a fact, and then I said I have a way to prove said fact. Now you're asking...
Okay, ma'am, you're deliberately just bouncing all over the place. What does somebody building something in your village have to do with us? Let's try this again, ma'am.
You asked me originally what I was doing back home. So then I answered with, we are building. And then now you're asking me, what does that do with the organization, right? But my original question from way, way back was, why is that the question, right? I asked for clarification. And why is it so transactional? And then also I asked you to clarify why you said fuck all that kumbaya shit, right? Why? Like, these are your words. I'm just repeating your words, but then you're saying that I'm bouncing. But I just tie it back to your original statement, and then I answer correctly, and then you say that I'm off. So I'm confused here.
Yeah, you're just babbling at this point, man. You're all over the place. You're literally all over the place, ma'am. And you're just spewing word salad, because I think you know what I'm saying is pretty correct. And if we're going to talk about
this is what they do. They come over here, talk about how we hate them, and we talk a bunch of slick bullshit. But then when we ask them about their hatred that they speak, they want to beat around the bush. Bitch, we not in Africa no more. Sorry. This is America.
Microaggressions. The microaggressions comes from your side. It ain't no African booty scratcher talk. Black American adults don't talk like that.
Oh, very much they do.
No, they don't. Let's not tell that lie on Foundation. Grown Black folks ain't running around here calling nobody no damn African booty scratcher, man. That's something that should...
No, we don't say shit like that. That's not true. We will say that y'all are starving 10 cents a day, funky, Bigfoot, long feet motherfuckers. You feel what I'm saying? Funky, musty, skinny motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? We will say shit like that.
And used to do in the 80s. Kids don't do it.
My African booty scratcher? Nah.
I can go to my school right now, a college, a university. So many teachers. There have been so many, like, legit, all you have to do is turn on the TV. You can even turn on...
What college do you go to?
Why would I tell you that?
Okay, because I want you to really flesh your lie out. No Black Foundational Black American in college is calling you an African booty scratcher, ma'am. That's just not true.
That was one term as an example. I've been called that multiple times, yes. And then I do...
Black didn't call you an African booty scratcher, man.
How do you know that?
Because we don't talk like that.
You say we, but you're talking about the collective group that
yes, I am.
Yourself with. We're talking about the group of people you surround yourself with. I'm talking about Black people in general.
Ma'am. No college-educated foundational Black American is going to run around using an infantile term like that. We don't even talk like that, ma'am. I know my culture. And that's a lie that a lot of people come over here with.
But isn't that the same argument that I have? I know my culture, and the way that you're saying that we have nothing back home, and I'm saying that we do, and then you say, no, that's a lie. We have nothing back home.
Ma'am, during colonialism, let's go back. When I said you had nothing back home, I was really referring to the colonialism area, right? When colonialism and imperialism was getting erased off paper, you didn't have anything. You didn't have anything over there. There was nothing going on. We knew that. We knew what the issue was, and we wanted to help brothers and sisters. But you jumped out this bag. Oh, we had this and we had...
Class, can we rewind when he said you had nothing after colonialism? Now you're saying we're going back to when colonialism just stopped. Oh, this thing's recorded too.
It is recorded.
You can go back.
But I'm saying now, you don't have nothing popping now over there. I'm saying that now.
Now, like right now. So
right now,
if you Google,
you don't have it. Nothing is really popping like that right now.
What is your definition of
now? Let me say this.
Where would you like me to give you
let me say my words and you not try to reinterpret it. You know, that's.
What's your example of popping though? What is popping? What is considered popping?
I want you to.
Popping means influencing, where everybody runs to. Everybody want to be like, talk like, dress like. Even down to the cellular level. That's what popping means, man.
Let me talk. I don't have a problem telling you exactly what I mean.
Okay, just answer that quickly.
You have something. Oh, ma'am, I got it. Now let's be very clear. You do have something in Africa. All the resources are there. All the resources are there. You do have something. I wouldn't.
Nigga, we got all the resources over here. We can get into the actual documentation of that.
Tell a lie.
Go look it up. I got the actual document right now. I got charts, graphs from oceanic voyages, minerals, food, all that. It's 640 different food crops that's grown in the continent of Africa. Out of those 640 food crops, 600 of those plants and crops are indigenous to the Americas. They came from the Americas. Facts.
You got all the resources on the planet right there in Africa.
Your little words were nothing, but okay, go ahead.
Okay. But all the resources.
No, popping. What is your definition?
When I say popping, meaning you ain't doing a damn thing with it. That's what I mean. You ain't doing nothing with the resources there. The whites and the Asians are. That's why you ain't got it popping. You're trying to get it over here instead of getting it over there from the whites and the Asians. That's what I mean, ma'am.
Okay, let me break down a business mentality that a lot of people from Africa and also from Europe do, right? So you send 2 to 3 family members that will collect and come and work in America to get that American money, because the way things, change when you have American money and you go to Africa, it's going to be more. So you have the 2 to 3 people that are also here that are getting a college degree, as I was trying to say earlier, getting a college degree in America, because while things translate, when you go to Africa, even if you have a college degree in Africa, you come here, it's going to be equivalent to a high school degree. So
what is this woman talking about?
Right. That's what I was about to say, man. What is she talking about? Facts. Seriously.
Am I tripping or is this woman babbling? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, ma'am?
You asked for the purpose of coming over here. So I'm providing purpose, structure, point.
Get to the point, ma'am. We do not want to sit here and hear you babble in circles. It don't take all that. You can get to the point, ma'am. It don't.
It's the little whisper for me that this nigga be having me on the floor. This nigga whisper and be just killing them.
Take all that for you to get to the.
I'm about to try that. That's when I'm about to start killing you niggas in a whisper, boy. Boy, your ass, boy, stupid as hell, boy.
Point. Get to the point, ma'am.
The point is, in Africa as a continent, there is a lot there that is very thriving, beneficial. People are thriving, but people also have choice.
The white people and Asian people are thriving, ma'am. Most of the black people are not, hence why many of you are leaving, right?
Isn't that the same for here? Hence why African Americans are leaving, right?
Where are we leaving?
America. Literally, just Google it.
What are you? You just saying anything, ma'am? Are you trolling right now? Are you trolling?
That's why Americans are leaving, bitch. Where the fuck we going? We don't go nowhere. We don't even be wanting to go nowhere. Motherfucker already think we're gonna get locked up abroad going to Cuba and shit. Like, nigga, no, we don't even be wanting to go outside of this motherfucker. We know what's going down in America. We know it's the belly of the beast. You know what I mean? She's just making up some bullshit at this point.
Ma'am, we're not leaving.
Thank y'all for the support in the following. Oh, I'm not trolling. I'm just
we're not leaving. Foundational Black Americans are not up and leaving nowhere. What are you talking about? You're just saying anything, ma'am.
Okay. So when it comes to this space, because at this time we are going just back and forth. When it comes to this space, what is your goal out of this?
Truth and clarity, which you're not providing, ma'am. You're being very deceptive, which is the problem. You're very deceptive, ma'am.
How so?
Oh my goodness, you're just saying anything on this phone, man. You're literally saying anything. You're just making up stuff and just saying it just to be saying it.
How so?
You just sat here and said foundational Black Americans are leaving, just like you guys are leaving Africa, which is a blatant, bold-faced lie, man. Why would you even say that?
He said a bold-faced lie. That's exactly what it is. You know, your mama, your granny done told you. You said, did you eat that little? You say you shake your head. No, boy, you done told a bold-faced ass lie. Get your ass out of here. You done told a bold-faced ass lie.
And you knew that wasn't true. When you do that, ma'am, that really nullifies a lot of seriousness in your conversation, ma'am, because that's a bad faith argument. And when you get into bad faith arguments, it's kind of difficult to take other stuff that you say seriously, ma'am. And I'm trying to give you a platform to seriously lay out your points. I'm being very fair. But when you make a bad faith argument like that.
Wait, you said that you're trying to give me a platform to lay it out, but whenever if you mute me or you mute the people that are speaking,
you're not going to just babble and waste our time, because that's a weaponization that a lot of people do. They weaponize time wasting and just talking in circles and then changing your story and then making
you're describing yourself.
Oh, no, man.
Asked you a question, you've either muted me or answered with another question, and then also questioned how Africa.
Ma'am, you're doing it now. You just want to talk in circles, and I mute you because there has to be order.
Hey, can I have the 547 people that's in the chat? Go hit the like button. Y'all smash the like button. We just getting cracking. We just reached over an hour. We just getting it started. I got more lined up for y'all. We're gonna get right into it. I got a great show for you guys today. I need y'all to hit the like button, thumb up the video, support the channel. All right, I'm gonna need y'all to do that. Hey, I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes since we reached the hour break. I'm gonna give y'all 2 minutes to go use the bathroom, get something to drink, whatever you need to do. Y'all got 2 minutes. Here we go.
So dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them townhomes. What's a native to a native? Eat $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's true with God and Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English plotted on our homes. Tribal families turned on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to something. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black. So dope, my eyes low. When you move like the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them townhomes. What's a native to a native? He $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God of Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turn on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to somethings. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. Say you wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. You stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the sauce. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust a pastor who rather side with the master, who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God is never our vernacular. They get
We back. Let's get it going. Shout out to everybody in the chat. That's my brother Trey Ali. If you ever want to check out some of the music, go type in Trey Ali on YouTube, all streaming music platforms. Trey Ali. Make sure y'all go type that, man. One of the goals.
See, we can't just let things be all willy-nilly.
Let's go, y'all.
The problem, that's what was happening back home, man.
Hey, run and hit them like button, man. Thumb up the video, man. Let's get the likes up. We should already be at 500 likes already, man. Support the channel. Let's continue.
Things were just willy.
Hey, if you're a proud American FBA and proud Aboriginal, let's get them fire emojis in the chat, man. Let's get active. Y'all looking a little sleepy in the chat. Let's go.
Willy. Things just all over the place. No structure, no order. People just doing stuff to the point where everything collapsed. And then you had to leave. So we're not trying to have you bring that same chaotic mindset over here to our circles. So we demand that there's order. You see how that works, ma'am?
I'm sorry, continue?
Yes. I'm just letting you know how order works, see? As foundational Black Americans, we kind of want order in circles like this where we're trying to have constructive discussions. But just babbling in circles and contradicting and flipping things and just saying whatever, that's not something that's acceptable in these types of spaces. And we won't allow you to just do that. So that's why there will be a muting of non-constructive dialogue, ma'am. With respect, though. Notice I'm very respectful to the conversation, not name calling or not being disparaging. I'm letting you say what you need to say. But
you called me a liar.
Well, you told a lie, ma'am. You told a lie.
How was it a lie?
You told a few lies on here, ma'am.
She really did. She told so many lies, it'll make your head spin. We're going to put her on ice for a second because that conversation gets even more crazier, especially with the absurd shit that's said. Let's get into the white boy, the Italian. Let's go back.
Come back together, to be honest, in this country and form a group, because I can see that that's the only way right now that people are actually getting respect. You know, you got to come in numbers. And if I'm just me right now. This is what you do for a living. I'm just up late on whatever night it is. You know what I mean? Let me start getting all the Italian Americans. The American government never spent more money than to lock up Italian Americans. Not Black people, Italian Americans. They spent $200 million to dismantle the mafia. So don't start talking to me about what goes on.
Then why should they not dismantle organized crime, sir?
Why are you fighting for criminals that are Black to not go to jail?
What criminals have I fought for, sir?
So you're okay with Black criminals going to jail?
Sir, your racist trolling is running out.
I'm not trolling at all. Don't try to turn me into a troll. Everything I'm saying is
now your racist white supremacist trolling is coming all the way out. Because you failed. You come from a failed culture in Italy. Y'all were failing in Italy. You came over here to the country foundation of Black Americans built it. You're talking about some dam. You built New York, and the ruins of Rome are still over there in Rome. Y'all didn't even clean Rome up. It's still in ruins. Why don't you fix the ruins of Rome?
You know, it's funny how you think one thing is like, there's so many different pieces of everything.
Yeah, there's pieces of rubble all on the ground in Italy. I've been all over Italy. Y'all don't even fix the Tower of Pisa. Y'all didn't even fix that shit. It's still leaning.
Very funny.
Talking about you done built something.
Dude, what? Let me ask you a question. Why?
You ain't asked me nothing. You talking about what you done built? Let me tell you something. Not only was it Foundation of Black Americans saving you, even before Foundation of Black Americans, you're Italian. It was the Moors who saved you too. It was the Black Moors who came over there and got you out of squalor. You were about to die over there.
The Black Moors came over there. Where was they at? I thought they was already in Europe. Oh, because they really was never in Europe. They came from the Americas. Let's get it right. All them sciences, the medicines, the herbs, the soaps, the shit that cleaned up Europe came from America.
Y'all over there, disease. Foundation of Black Americans. You're Italian. It was the Moors who saved you too. It was the Black Moors who came over there and got you out of squalor. You were about to die over there. Y'all over there, disease-ridden. Y'all had the Black Plague, the Justinian Plague. There were dozens of plagues hitting over there. It was the Black Moors who came over there bringing alcohol and chemicals and things over there to clean that place up. So you doubly owe Black people a thank you.
How far are you going to go back to try
all the way back?
I mean, come on.
All the way back.
Let's get a little more relevant. Let's talk about right.
You owe Foundation of Black Americans, and you owe the Moors for saving you, because y'all were dying off over there, especially Italy. Y'all were dying the hell off.
Okay, I think it's pretty obvious that the rappers are mostly the most influential Black Americans, and they wear all Gucci and Italian designers. They took the word yo from Italians. They took the whole gangster image that Italians made cool. So it's like, man,
they was never gangsters. Y'all niggas was over here as posse bums.
Talk about what's happening right now.
Okay, let's talk about what's happening.
Let's talk about how they continue to be influenced by.
Nobody's influenced by you. The only gangster that you have is that you're connected with law enforcement because of your whiteness. So you're not gangster. You've never been gangster. All the whole tough guy, yo, paisan talk. The only thing you had, the only advantage was your proximity to whiteness, your ability to be protected by your whiteness, which is a form of welfare. Whiteness and white supremacy is welfare for white people. That's what you benefited for.
Now, white supremacists hate Italians. I don't know what you're talking about. They hate Italians. They hate Catholics. They hate Jews.
Stop it.
What are you talking about?
Italians are not some other group. You're a white.
Yes, they are.
No,
they were turned white, and there's still plenty of Black people I know that consider Italians Black.
Stop it.
So, you never heard that term?
You play the denial of whiteness game. When it's very convenient, y'all try to play this denial of whiteness. I'm not white, I'm Italian. I'm not white, I'm Spanish. I'm not white, I'm Irish. So y'all try to play this 3-card Monte game. Yeah. When it's convenient, it's called temporary denial of whiteness. I talk about that in my book. That's an old white supremacist trick. Oh, I'm not white. I couldn't possibly be a white supremacist. Man, I'm Cherokee. Are you mixed with Cherokee too, buddy?
I didn't say I wasn't white. What I'm saying is there's a difference between people that became white and white supremacists. And the white supremacists don't like Catholics. They don't like Italians. They don't like Jews. They don't like Jews more than they don't.
And every single one of you who have differences don't like Black people. That's the commonality that you all have. So I don't give a damn what type of differences you have among family. All of you get on code against Black people. Facts. So that's my concern. So you all are white enough. I don't give a damn what level.
Yeah, y'all bitches bicker in your homes, but y'all don't bicker out in public about that. So y'all don't be like, y'all niggas get together and say, fuck niggas, and talking about us in America. Period. Y'all get right on code. Fuck the differences. Y'all go straight to y'all ragged ass granny house and start talking about niggas. Period.
Of whiteness you are. Y'all all get together and get on the same anti-Black page. So that's the problem that I have, sir. Are you here, Mr. Scarface?
I'm here. I'm here. As soon as I'm unmuted, I'll speak.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, dude, I could make a documentary about how Italian Americans had helped Black Americans. You had Sinatra and Dean Martin that opened up doors for entertainment. You have the Jews that opened up all kind of doors for Black platforms. Actually, the father of the jazz guitar is an Italian guy who used to play with Lonnie Johnson in the 1920s. There's so many stories I could get into with you, but we don't have time to get into all that. And, you know, I haven't really prepared for all that.
Foundational Black Americans created every single music genre over here, dude. Stop it. Just
everyone,
stop it.
Everyone.
There was no music, is what you're trying to tell me.
No, we created music, nigga. Y'all motherfucking no rhythm, 2 left foot, vagabonds ain't start no motherfucking music. That ain't got no rhythm. Type of vibration going through your goddamn evil, malicious, brutish mindset. Man, they know that's our shit, man. What the fuck? Tariq killed this nigga, man.
Before America, right? There was no classical music. There was no drums that go all the way back to China.
The drums, the modern drums that people use now, the sit-down drums, that was created by a foundational Black.
Created by Aboriginal America. And drums in America go back thousands and thousands, motherfucking millions of years, motherfucker. What is you talking about?
The drum goes back to China.
The sit-down drum, sir.
There's a whole percussion. It's all about percussion.
Sir, there were drums in Africa that go back millions of years, sir.
So then how come they're not making the music in Africa? Why'd they have to do it here?
They are making music in Africa.
They didn't make the blues and jazz in Africa.
Man, we don't give a fuck about Africa, nigga. Aboriginals. Told you we all ain't come from Africa. Most of the motherfucking people was here. So the music came from her. This is where the inspiration came from. What if I ain't making no music in Africa when you starving? What you gonna make some music for? You trying to look for something to eat.
Because they did it in America with white people. With white people, with Jews and Italians.
Oh, we're foundational Black Americans. We made the music. Foundational Black Americans, sir. We made that. Well, hell, you didn't make no damn blues, R&B, and none of that stuff. Foundational Black Americans made that, sir.
They did, but they did it here in America with other white people.
Sir, this is a country we built. This is our country, sir. This is a foundational Black American country. This is our homeland, sir. This is not your homeland. You're an immigrant. I'm not.
No, you migrated to the cities. You're not from the cities. You were never from the cities. You followed the lanes that
we founded many of the cities in this country, sir. Los Angeles was founded by Black people. Buffalo was founded by Black people. Chicago was founded by a Black person. We settled many of these cities. Sir, you don't know history.
Chicago is a Haitian guy. I thought Haitians were immigrants.
Sir, that
cities was already here in the 1500s, built here by the Aboriginal people. Go look at my thumbnail to this video. You're going to see a picture archive of Montezuma. That's Montezuma. And look in the background. I even put a little arrow in the background to show you the buildings in the background that looks just like your building in downtown area in your old city. Look at the building. If you're in Philadelphia area, New York area, San Francisco, San Antonio, go to your old historical areas. Go look at them old buildings downtown with the domes and shit down there. That's the same shit that you're seeing in the background of a Montezuma rendition picture in the National Archive that goes back to the 1500s.
Brother was one of our riders. He's still Black.
Okay, so but he was an immigrant, wasn't he?
He's still Black.
He was an immigrant guy.
He's Black.
He was an. Let me tell you something. Immigrants make the flavor in this country.
Okay, couldn't make the flavor in it.
That nigga said immigration makes the flavor in this country. Boy, if you don't go sit your Italian sub meatball eating ass down, boy, what wrong with him?
If you make the flavor in the country, why did you make the flavor in Italy? Why are y'all sitting over there struggling in Italy right now?
That nigga better go eat some raviolis, fucking with me, Chef Boy or White Boy. Yeah.
Sir.
I don't know who you think's struggling. literally the strongest mafias in the world are all Southern Italy. Calabria, Naples, and Sicily have the strongest mafias in the world.
So you have to hang your hat on criminality. That's the problem right there. If your claim to fame is being an organized criminal, that shows how degenerate your mindset is, and you're not qualified to maintain a civilized society.
This is what you call a true meatball. Cuz is a meatball. He a little spicy one, too. This nigga coming on with that bullshit. Nigga, sit your wop ass down. Use a wop or a guinea.
Sir, that's why you had to flee and come over here among the foundational Black Americans who are the moral compass of this country, sir.
No, we had to flee from oppression, from dictators.
Oh,
that's what we had to flee from.
Sound like them, not you. The government, the government.
Listen, Black Americans fled too. They fled the South. Stop lying to yourself. You fled the South because you were getting fucking ran over, guy. You couldn't fucking survive over there.
Dude, this is still our country. What do you mean fled the South? And let's be very clear, there were Black people getting lynched in the North too. Yeah, we were getting lynched. We were getting lynched.
That nigga said the government.
No, we had to flee from oppression, from dictators.
Oh,
that's what we had to flee from.
Sound like them, not you. It's the government. Oh, the government. Government. The government. It's the government. It's the government. The government.
Oppression from dictators.
Oh,
that's what we had to flee from.
Sound like them, not you. It's the government. Oh, the government. The government.
Listen.
Government. The government, it's the government, it's the government.
Oppression from dictators.
Oh,
that's what we had to flee from.
Sound like them, not you. It's the government. Oh, the government. The government.
Listen, Black Americans fled too. They fled the South. Tariq, stop lying to yourself. You fled the South because you were getting ran over. You couldn't fucking survive over there.
Dude, this is still our country. What do you mean fled the South? And let's be very clear, there were Black people getting lynched in the North too. Yeah, we were getting lynched. We were getting lynched, dude. They were murdering us with impunity. So yeah, we're going to go to the next place so we don't get killed, and we're less than 12% of the population time. We're getting killed. People were waging warfare on foundational Black Americans. But we still said, hey, we're going to still fight back in many cases, which we did. We still chose to fight back. We didn't leave the country. You talking like the South is a different country. This is still a country we pay taxes in, buddy. We didn't immigrate nowhere. Government, the government, it's the government, it's the government. Taxes in, buddy. We didn't immigrate nowhere. Talking about fleeing the South, that's not immigrating to another place. We're still in the same landmass where our taxes are circulating. You got y'all asses up out of Italy and bounced and left that shit behind and came on over here eating off us.
We started coming here in the 1880s, so it was right after slavery was over, and the cities weren't even built yet.
Yeah, dude, y'all were still classified as Sicilians because Italy didn't even become a nation state until around that time too. So, dude, you knew booty, as we say. You were one of these brand new niggas.
Oh God, please! Like I said, you came to our cities that we built and that we paved ways for you.
Dude, how
this nigga said Italians built the cities here in America? Hey, white boy, meatball head, put your neck out. Smack the shit out the back of his stupid ass, Italian ass neck for saying some stupid ass shit like that. They ain't built shit when y'all bitches came here with cities and lights and great shit.
How is an immigrant gonna claim a city in a country that?
But that's what happened. Who created who?
We've been these cities. We were already in these cities, dude. You trying to rewrite history? We were already. What city weren't we in? We were in New York. What are you talking?
So there's no such thing as the Great Migration.
We were in New York.
What's the Great Migration?
It's a Chef Boyardee dish. So we were already.
Right, I know.
We were in Chicago.
I mean, dude, if you want to ignore facts, then like I said, I think you're an interesting guy, and you have a great way.
Stop it. Stop with the tough guy. I hate when a lot of y'all be trying to act like that. Yo, just tell you, man, your whiteness protects you. You guys are weenies. You're a goddamn weenie. Your whiteness protects you. You fall into the system of white supremacy. You're not fucking tough. Black people, foundational Black Americans, we're tough because we have to go against the militarized government. That's tough. We're less than 12% of the population, and we don't have the cloak of whiteness to help us out. When we feel injustice, we don't get on a boat with $3 and flee like bitches. We stand here and stand strong and fight against oppression. And you could never be that.
You fled you ran away from the South.
Stop with that. Stop. And then why are there so many black people in the South still? There's plenty of black people in the South.
Yeah, I know, but there was a great migration and they ran away from it. And when you talk about fighting the government, nobody...
Stop all that. Black people are still in the South and there were black people who never left. You acting like black people just bounced away from the South. There's some who went to the North because this is our country. And many black people and most black people stayed in the South. They didn't run. If we want to talk about fleeing, they stayed in the South. So what you talking about?
Well, yeah, because it's not as bad as you make it out to be. That's why. So, but the reality is that, listen,
but
if the white people didn't form this nation, if we get taken over by China tomorrow or the Middle East, nobody gives a fuck about what you're saying right now, bro. So you should be fucking worshiping white people right now because we're actually listening to you and fucking, making things happen for black people. Let fucking China take over. You think they're going to give a fuck what you have to say right now? Dude, foundational black, they don't give a fuck.
But if it weren't for us...
He mad at a motherfucker, boy. No, we don't need y'all. But while y'all here, y'all gonna have to understand this is our shit. Y'all don't make decisions. Y'all ain't built shit. Get in line. Do what y'all do when y'all came here. Act like the Slavic slaves you were.
That's why. So, but the reality is that, listen,
but
if the white people didn't form this nation, if we get taken over by China tomorrow or the Middle East, nobody gives a fuck about what you're saying right now, bro. So you should be fucking worshiping white people right now because we're actually listening to you and fucking, making things happen for black people. Let fucking China take over. You think they're going to give a fuck what you have to say right now? Dude, foundational black, they don't give a fuck.
But if it weren't for us building the nation for free, you would be in Europe somewhere with head lice eating potatoes.
Damn, fuck him up.
Like I said,
you will be in Europe starving, eating potatoes with head lice.
If it weren't for us building the nation for free, you would be in Europe somewhere with head lice eating potatoes.
With no salt.
Like I said, you want to make a comedy show, make a comedy show. The reality is that Italian Americans...
Let's talk real. I'm talking real. If it weren't for us, you would still be over there in Italy somewhere cannibalizing each other, which is what they were doing here. Let's be clear. They were over here cannibalizing each other. Your ancestors, they were coming over here. When they start starving, they just started eating each other. That happened in Virginia, North Carolina, down in Florida when they tried to set up a colony down there. They didn't know how to create an agrarian society on their own. So they looked at the next guy and said, hey, nigga, you look tasty. Even when they went out west, sir, we know about the Dharma Party and all those people, whatever the name is, the Dharma Party. But when they were going west, they were getting stuck out there and saying, hey, well, shit, there's no food, but you look like a snack. So, oh, thank you. No, bitch, you look like a real snack. And they started eating each other. That's your history, sir.
Hey, look, Tariq, I respect your hustle.
No, literally. You know how motherfucking females be like, I'm a whole snack. You know what I'm saying? No, literally. They was going to eat the fuck out of you. Don't play around with these cannibalized white people who now think that they run our motherfucking government. Nigga, y'all depend on the motherfucking
government. The government. It's the government. It's the government.
Come on, man.
Look, Tariq, I respect your hustle, like I said. So, but that story has no relevance to what we're talking about right now.
We're talking history because you're talking
about deflecting.
You're talking about what we should be thankful to you, and when we're not around, y'all start cannibalizing each other, and we should be thankful. When black folks aren't around, y'all get all types of diseases over there in Europe and start falling out, and your arms and asses is falling off, and we got to be thankful to you? Really?
What I just said was that it was white people that started this country, that started this whole process. So if we get taken over by China tomorrow or any other country, nobody gives a fuck about what you're saying. It's this country that allows you to say what you're saying because we fight for you. We go to war against other countries. We fight for this. You keep talking about white supremacy like it's not as something that it's not what it is. Okay. You're talking about white people.
Okay.
You say, oh, because I see people.
Wait, stop your goddamn babbling. Is there white supremacy or not? Because your white forefathers said there was white supremacy. Why did they say that?
Yes, the KKK organization.
And no, Thomas Jefferson, the people in the Confederate, it wasn't the KKK. It was the top white people, Andrew Jacksons. These people were using terms like white supremacy, even in the Taney Supreme Court decision. They were using terms like.
So listen, man. Hey, if you're a proud American, proud FBA, or proud Aboriginal American, can I get some fire emojis in the chat? And can I have y'all run and thumb up that like button? Please go hit the like button, thumb up the video. Let's get back into the conversation with the Congolese con artist.
A few lies on here, man.
How is it a lie? Okay, specifically because
man, you told a few lies on here, man.
Okay, let's go by the first one. When you said that I was lying about my family building, why is that a lie?
Well, you started talking about all of this oil. I said, what are you doing with foundational Black Americans and how can we benefit? And you start talking about some
no, you didn't
oil.
Say benefit. This is recorded.
Yeah,
also, we can
you
go back.
Start talking about some oil and all of this. You were making it up as you went along. It didn't even sound right. So you were not being honest about that, man. And then
Congo is the highest when it comes to coltan, oil, diamonds, and gold.
I know that.
How am I? The fact that it literally tracks by the country and facts, like you can just Google it and it's there.
I know that, and you are not over there. You're in Texas. You're not over there with all the diamonds.
As I said, family. You send 2 to 3 people here for schooling, and you have the family build and continue. Then I provided examples when you asked me.
Hey, let's try to bring 800 people in this chat today, man. In order to do that, it's going to take all 500 of you guys to go like the button and to share it. Share it at least one time. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. At me. Go follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the hell. All the social medias I'm on. We spreading the information everywhere. Let's try to get 800 of the brothers and sisters around the globe in here to listen. You know what I mean? Because we got some more powerful information to show how America is a Negro continent. All right? We get into the first part of this live stream. So make sure y'all tune in, hit the like button, share the live stream. Let's bring 800 up in this thing today.
And how am I doing it with people here in America and then also within my country? And I provided those examples and you proceeded to say that I was lying again.
You were just talking, ma'am. You're just saying stuff that a lot of people say. Everybody says the same thing, man. I call it the Prince of Zamunda. Everybody
says the same. What? But doesn't that show a collective mindset of building?
But a lot of folks say the same thing, but they never build it. You never see it. They say they come over here and do the whole Prince of Zamunda thing. I'm over here working at Taco Bell, but back home I got a big oil factory. We got diamonds. We got gold mines. I got elephants. I'm a prince. My dad is a prince. My dad is the leader of the village.
If y'all want to see my granddad, the chief, I'll go ahead and drop that on my Twitter. Go ahead and follow me. And then when it comes to this whole Prince of Zamunda thing, right? You're saying that everyone says that a job is a job. I'm not degrading anyone or whatever type of job they're trying to get so that they can support for their family back home or even build back home. Do what you got to do. A job is a job. But you cannot discredit or undermine the sacrifices that people have done. Because I'm not just talking about my sacrifices and my experience. I'm talking about the people that I see, the people I'm so proud to call my.
What sacrifices have you done, ma'am? You immigrated here. The people who sacrificed were found Black Americans to build a country that you could come to. So what sacrifices did you do, ma'am?
All right. Sacrifices, me personally, I go off by me. My high school year going into college, worked 3 jobs to make sure that I could buy the full land back home, right? So there's that. On top of that, my mom worked 2 jobs when basically it was a domestic abuse situation. But when my parents got divorced, my mom worked 2 jobs before even learning English, right? And she taught me that mindset and that workspace. So,
okay, that's not sacrificing. That's just working. That's just working a job. That's not sacrificing. What are you talking about, man? You just saying anything. You just got some jobs. You came over and started working.
Though you muted me.
I am because you just
okay.
stuff, right?
You're saying that working a job, like
that's
you're saying
just working a job, man. What are you talking about?
Sir, you don't even know what field, what was being done, how a person was sleeping.
That's not a fact. That's not a sacrifice. That's a come up. You were able to come over here and make money.
She just much lying, saying a bunch of bullshit. Like, seriously.
That's called working a job, man. That's not a sacrifice. What are you talking about? What in the world are you talking about, ma'am? You are just saying anything, ma'am. You're just saying words, ma'am.
Okay, let's go ahead and look at the dictionary definition.
Hey, for those that's in here, don't forget, support the channel with the $1 challenge, man. For anybody that want to donate for my time and content, the link's at the top left of the screen. Cash App tags at the top left of the screen. Support the channel for the brother time and content. Share the live stream. Hit the like button. Things of that nature, man. Just keep support, man. All the American Aborigines and FBA brothers and sisters stand up, man.
Sacrifice.
Drop those fire emojis in the chat.
Ma'am, that type of circular battling, it just don't work with us over here, ma'am.
But I feel like everything is on your terms and your definition.
Yes, it is. Because we can't.
Oh, okay, now I'm understanding.
Okay, because at home, ma'am, you failed. That's why you had to leave. And we cannot have you bring a failed mentality.
I'm actually prospering pretty well. We were forced to leave by Americans, well, whites specifically, but
yeah, but yeah, you had to you bounced. You had to flee because it wasn't popping. And you were able to come here and make money, ma'am. That's
home. Which a lot of us do, actually.
Well, most of you don't. Most of you ain't ever going back there. Let's be clear. You leave there and you never plan on going back. Let's stop all of that. We're about to build this and build that because they would have done it already.
But you asked me okay, so
why wasn't it done? Y'all been saying that for 50 years.
But why? There is proof in the pudding, though, because the countries that I have brought up have had some significant improvement, but then you also have to think about what's going against as improvement. It's not going to happen.
The improvements come from Asian investments, ma'am. Please, ma'am. The improvements come from Asian investments, ma'am. It's not that you're sending anything back. Y'all don't be sending stuff back like that. Y'all just don't. You don't. If you were sending so many resources back, the people there wouldn't need those janky Asian investment loans where the Asians invest money and then take over the airports and take over. Ma'am, what do you mean where I get the information from?
Yes, please drop a link. You're saying janky investments as if sometimes you say some, sometimes you say all, sometimes you say where. Where is this coming from?
Janky investments, meaning these Asian corporations go over there, or Asian groups or whatever. They go over there, loan the people money. Hey, we'll give you a loan to build up your infrastructure.
Okay, right there. I wouldn't say the people, because we have an understanding, Africans as a collective, that government, yes, we understand that is corrupt. Same way government.
Always talking about the government.
Is corrupt here, but of course it's 10 times. So don't say the people. It's not the people.
It's what?
Government.
The government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, it's the government.
People.
It's what?
Government.
Oh Lord, did she go there? Did she go there? Hold on.
Government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, the government. the government. It's the government. It's
I
the
like how you
government.
said that there are older people that are college educated that don't use terms like that, but you still play music as basically a comeback, like a child in middle school.
The government.
Are we roasting each other at the lunch table?
Government. The government, it's the government, it's the government, the government, the government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government, the government.
Have to play the government song. Lord, it's like a broken record. It's literally like we just literally made a record called The Government because of that government excuse. It's always the government, the government. We can't get nothing going on because of the government. Lord.
That we can't get nothing going on. We are trying. It's the fact that you're reminding the people that are actually attempting. Same way that there are people attempting here, you cannot dismiss that there are people attempting there as well, and that there are people collectively working together on both ends.
Now, how are you attempting when you fleeing? You can't do both. You can't attempt to fix
It's
something
not
if you
fleeing.
It
What is okay?
fleeing.
When you say fleeing, fleeing is running away, right?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, I'm not running away. A lot of people are not running away. There's a thing of working smarter, not harder, right?
You're
If you
running
don't have
faster.
the ability,
Running faster, man. I mean, that's what you did. You ran and you're in Texas right now. Nice and comfortable in Texas, where foundational Black Americans had to fight and build this nation and fight for Black folks to enjoy.
I provided you the information that it was not my choice to come here. How am I running?
Ma'am, it was your choice. You chose to flee. You fled. You got your ass over
No. I provided the information. My father was a citizen. So we had to come here because my parents were married. My mother was pregnant at the time. So we had to come here because that was the law. My father, as a citizen of the United States working in Africa at the time, they made everyone working for that specific company come back. Because my mother was his spouse, because she's pregnant with me, we had to come here. That's what happened.
They created a protocol in order for them to flee successfully. That's all that is. They didn't have to do anything. They put that in motion. They fought for that. That wasn't something that just dropped on them. They fought to get the ability to flee. They wanted to flee. They signed up to flee, man. Let's stop playing games. And it's not popping back home. The Congo is not the business right now, and you know it at all. But it's the business for Asians and white people, though. When they go over there, they're living good. They got it popping over there. Why don't the Black people have it popping, and the whites and the Asians, who are a very small minority? Why do they have it going on over there?
You know what? Okay, I'm going to answer the question. It may raise more questions.
I would love to hear this. I gotta hear this.
Okay, so you asked me, why do they collectively have it popping? This is only an opinion of mine. And clarify that because I do not want anyone to think that I'm saying a fact right here. But I think it's because when it comes to the Asian communities that have moved and have successfully moved into multiple countries, it's because they work as a unit, right? So they're able to work as a unit and then they're able to conquer. Because I see that mindset that the Asian community has, and you see how they have developed and grown within America as well. And I commend.
So these Africans are striving to be better Asians, to be like Asians. Their inspiration and dedication to be a good Samaritan is to be a good Asian.
For that, because when it comes to that community, they have it. And even if there is that territorial divide, because there is, as we say in Africa, the tribal divisions, they also have the cultural and tribal divisions when it comes to Asian countries as well. And when it comes to building, though, or having that communication when it comes to business, a lot of that is put to aside because there's the understanding that you're going to make more, you're going to prosper, and we can build more if we do this. So that I feel, for me, that's my opinion on why they're so successful and how they've been able to go from country to country.
Yeah, go and take them off, Black Lotus.
And do so. But Congo, I understand that there's a very large Chinese population within Congo. That is very true. That right there is a fact. and I'm aware of that. But I understand the mindset they have, and I've seen how it's been put in action. So I understand how they have gotten so successful to this point and how they have been able to do that.
Exactly. Now, that's the realest thing you said on this whole phone call. I agree 100% that the Asians who go over there, they work as a collective group, even though they are the minority there. It's a small group of them compared to the dominant Black society over there.
I wouldn't say it like that. Because you have to think about it. They're going there as a collective group, but do not undermine that it is a business. There have already been contracts. Everything has been signed. There has been multiple. You can look at the article.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Let me shout out to the person who took their time out to support the channel with a cash out donation. Shout out to Copper Tone. He said, keep effing up with the information, man. We're gonna keep turning up with the information for sure. We got some more fire lined up. This is just the pre-build, getting it hype, letting them know how these foreign tethers think of us, and we're gonna get into the facts to show how America is a Negro continent. All right. So make sure y'all tap into that, keep supporting the channel, hit the like button, share the live stream, and drop those fire emojis in the chat if you can hear me in this audio that I'm playing. You know what I mean? Loud and clear. Drop them fire emojis.
Now, I feel like Nigeria is a prominent example. You have this generation of folks, whenever the police within Nigeria started, I shouldn't even say started, it's been like this, but it was on a rampage, killing people in the streets, stealing their cars, government officials knowing about this, but the people were in the streets protesting, fighting, trying to get social media on this. That way it actually raised the light to it, and people were looking in Africa and seeing what was going on and seeing how the young people are fighting for our land and wanting more safety and wanting to progress and have more of a say when it comes to government proceedings, because we are trying to do this. So that's why we say government.
I always say the government is the people. The people are the government. People are the government.
Okay, but you are providing, that's your mindset because you have the experience of America. Here, the people are the government. But there are some places where dictatorships are still a very prominent thing. Or even just, I'm sorry, the word evades me, but when it's your lineage. So it can literally be the president's son. That is still something that continues to go on.
How's that different from over here? How is that different from the United States government, which is the most oppressive government in history? Nothing is more oppressive than the U.S. government. Their military is 1,000 times more powerful than the Congo military. No government is more oppressive than the U.S. government, and foundational Black Americans stand up to them all the time. That's why the government talk is bullshit. We go up against the real government.
In your home, and you have a Twitter conversation going on, and you are actively talking against or saying what you can about the government. There are literal countries, this would get us killed. So how can you say that, America is the toughest, this, that, and third, and we're going against it day by day? There are people that go against it day by day and will literally get killed or shot or hurt. And they have become political activists. They're known in the world. Malala, she's a prime, beautiful example of a woman that spoke out against her country and wanted to speak for the truth of women, for the education of children and women as well. And she got shot in the head. So, and she was...
So y'all scared?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So y'all scared?
No, I just said that those are examples of people fighting against the grain and still fighting against the grain.
Ma'am, Malcolm X got shot. Martin Luther King got shot.
Yes, but I'm saying people are getting shot right now. You're providing examples of people that have done it and done it well. Yes, amen, hallelujah. But I'm talking about people that are doing it and doing it now. But you also said to me that we're not doing anything. But I'm giving you examples of people that are doing it. And if you'd like, because from what it sounds, or at least earlier you said that the definitions here are by your terms. Okay, I understand that. But you should also maybe open your mind and go and research not only just what goes on your For You page, because it's cultivated of everything that you've seen. It's for you. So everything you see on Twitter, all the new stuff, it's for you. It's
you're ranting right now. All right. Bring it back because you're going on you rant. You kind of babbling again. All right. Gotta bring you back. Come on.
My point to that is if you open your mind and look, you'll see that there are people that are fighting. It's not nothing is happening. There are people that are actively fighting to this day, right now, as we speak.
But you talking about the government and we can't do nothing because of the government. The people.
No, I never said we cannot do nothing because of the government. I said if you could please refer to it as the government is not attempting to, not we the people, because you said the people. I said no, not the people, because a lot of the people are fighting.
Okay, what do you think consists of the government? The government is made up of who?
And that's why I brought the examples of how governments.
Government, the government, it's the government, it's the government.
And that's why I brought the examples of how governments or how people.
The government is made up of who, ma'am? The government is made up of who? Who's the government made up of?
Depending on the country, not the people. Depending on the country, not chosen by the people, not for the people, depending on the country that you're referring to. That is the point that I'm trying to make.
So who then? Who runs the government if not the people?
It's the dictatorship. It's the collective of the 1%. It's the people that are in the pocket.
Okay. Now, listen to what you just said. The 1%. The 1% is running things over there. How come the masses don't go over there and take it from the 1%?
What? What do you mean? How can the what?
Why don't the masses go take what they need from the 1%, ma'am?
How can that question?
She's so stupid. She just don't even want to answer. He kicks her out.
Have you completed your task since it's a small group and it's not as big here? Because if you're having the same mindset, shouldn't you be completed with your task if us as a big group have not completed our task, but we're still very much fighting on it?
Okay, your correlation makes zero sense, ma'am. You didn't even think your correlation out.
She's really defeated right now. Whoever just said that in the chat, that's honestly what she's defeated. She's just babbling on.
Majority, the word evades me here. The white people are that here as of right now, but they're still dominating. So that's the same.
White people are the majority here, sweetie. What are you talking about?
Oh no! What?
In America? What are you talking? What majority in America? What are you talking about?
Sir, you don't know?
Oh Lord, ma'am.
White people are the majority of the 1%, and the space is taken when it comes to officials, governments, politicians. Yes, in that case. When it comes as a collective, as a race, white people are not the majority. They are dwindling down because we have so many interracial relationships, right? So
stop, ma'am. Ma'am, you don't know what you're talking about. White people are the majority in America, ma'am.
Classification and statistic wise, because East Indians come over here as white, Arabs come over here as white, Puerto Ricans come over here as white, Cubans come over here as white, Africans come over here as white. So number wise, statistically, this is what it shows. But in actual physicality and observation, they are the minority here.
I don't know what crack, some type of statistic. I don't know what you're making up, ma'am. I don't know where you're going. You're just making something up out of thin air. The demographics of this country's white people are the majority, ma'am. I don't know what you're talking about. You don't know that? You don't know that white people in America are the majority?
Asians come over here as white. Mexicans come over here as white. You got to look at so many people that come over here that is not classifying as you niggas.
Majority.
They asked them to pick a side.
I don't know where you're getting your facts from. Currently, I'm reading an article on NPR, but it's whatever.
Ma'am, what's your article saying, ma'am? What does your article say? Who do you think is the majority in America?
We are the majority, Tariq. Throughout all America, you got to count in. I know what you mean, though. He's talking about statistically and number-wise.
You know how many black people are here?
I feel like you're about to tell me. Go ahead.
40 million, give or take, 40 million.
That number's probably triple to that.
You didn't know
But you got to realize some of them are classifying as white.
this, ma'am?
They also put that Congolese twang to it. There are multiple documentaries when it comes
I know about, trust me, I already know about this.
But
So,
how can you say that they're just running around? Because that is along the culture. Like that is a root for some people.
okay.
And that is a part of pride.
Okay. So walking
how
around.
Can you insult that?
It's insulting because you got the whites and Asians eating up your resources, and you got grown ass Negroes running around in slums in zoot suits, running around having fashion shows. That's not a good look.
That's why I said it's the mindset of the white, because the way you're saying running around in slums.
That's exactly what they're doing, ma'am.
No, but they're not, because
they are.
And the
Congo dandies, the Congo dandies, and I want the black family here to look it up. They run around in slums, dressed in three-piece suits, having little fashion shows in the slums.
Slumdog millionaires, motherfucker.
Had a good look.
For those that don't know, if you'd like to look up the Congolese dandies, there are beautiful documentaries that are out there, right? And it's not just that. You have the Congolese dandies that also raise awareness and funds for either orphanages.
Man, ain't nobody moving to the Congo. See, that's what I'm talking about. She's a Congolese con artist. She's a Congolese coon.
Groups, organizations, you have the
man, she's naming some bullshit. Ain't nobody about to go to Congo, lady. Calm down.
So we want to make sure even while we're struggling, we still have that foundation. So yes, you have the fighters, the people that are going to speak against government, but you also have to have the comedians, the people that are going to praise, the people that are going to dance, the people that are going to pray. So why do they have to stop? Why can't they coexist?
Why can't y'all fight the white supremacists and the wannabe white supremacists on your homeland?
But we do.
Says, you don't, because y'all leave the first chance you get, ma'am. And that's
no, not okay.
And the dudes over there now, you talking about all these orphanages. You got dudes over there in Dapper Dan suits running around in slums and not doing anything about the resources that's being taken away by a minority group of people.
But they are doing things. I provided the examples. There's even the people that do it to raise awareness. The same way if you're here and let's say
awareness to who? Raise awareness to who?
So a lot of this, or I should say this, a lot of activism is done by social media.
Raise awareness to who? All of you are aware that you're in slums. So who are you going to make awareness to? Awareness to who? Awareness of what? What are you talking about?
Awareness to folks that can also help with the funds. The same way people raise funds, right? You have to have a way to grab people and pull them in, to make them open their hearts, to make them understand.
See, this is why we can't, you got to stop these anchor baby, because she's an anchor baby. Her daddy is American, then got with one of these Africans, and they created this damn thing. Man, we got to stop this.
To have an open ear to help, right? Just because something is happening, as you said before, I did agree when you said that the mind is colonized. Yes, that is a very big fact for a lot of people.
And you know what the other problem is, ma'am? Another problem is is the tribalism, all the different tribal and ethnic groups over there. Y'all still hold on to that while these people dominate you as a group. And people are still, the black folks are still holding on to those ethnic and tribal differences. That's long outdated. Do you understand that?
Okay. So, like I said, when it comes to that mindset, I wasn't finished. When it comes to that mindset, I do agree with you. It's very colonized, but you still have to work your way in collecting people to fight for your cause. Because it's not people are just going to automatically stand there. Because there are probably people that are in your cause that.
Why don't they put their tribal differences aside and all of them fight for their own cause?
Right, and stop running here. Drop them fire emojis in the chat.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, I was just saying, they should get off the tribal and ethnic group differences, because that's a major thing. All of those different ethnic and tribal groups there, they have to put that aside. Why don't they just put that aside and say, hey, we have to work together as a group against this minority threat that's dominating us? Wouldn't that be the most sensible thing to do? Put those ethnic differences aside, because they're outdated anyway, right?
Yes, I understand that completely. My thing is, I understand that it's kind of going in a circle now. My main argument was to not just say that we're not doing anything, because it basically is dismissing everyone that is actively attempting to do something.
Right.
That's all.
Oh, okay. All right, sister. Anyway, so we've had a very interesting conversation. So I tried to keep the conversation as respectful as possible. So hope the listeners have learned something. But I appreciate you for your input, beloved. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, that's it on that, man. We're going to get into the next part of the conversation. Let's get right back into the Italian white boy.
Haney Supreme Court decision. They were using terms like white supremacy.
Yeah, here go the Italian white boy. We're going to get back to his ass.
To say what you're saying, because we fight for you. We go to war against other countries. We fight for this. You keep talking about white supremacy like it's not, as something that it's not what it is. Okay. You're talking about white people.
Okay.
You say, oh, because I see people.
Wait, stop your goddamn babbling. Is there white supremacy or not? Because your white forefathers said there was white supremacy. Why did they say that?
Yes, the KKK organization.
And no, Thomas Jefferson, the people in the Confederate, it wasn't the KKK. It was the top white people, Andrew Jacksons. These people were using terms like white supremacy, even in the Taney Supreme Court decision. They were using terms like white supremacy, black inferiority in documents. Why did they use those terms? These are not some fringe groups. We're talking about leaders here and documents in the Supreme Court. Why did they use the term white supremacy then?
Because at that moment in time, which was hundreds of years ago, that was the perception at that particular time. The same.
Hey man, shout out to all my Aboriginal Americans, man, the foundational Americans, the FBA brothers and sisters. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's supporting the movement on code without even having to say anything. Drop those fire emojis in the chat. Stand up. Let them know, everybody, that y'all in here, man. I want to make sure y'all can hear me loud and clear as well. So make sure y'all hit the like button and keep this thing going.
That you think you're superior now to African immigrants.
So when, you're not going to troll. So when did they stop practicing white supremacy? What year, sir?
Well, first of all, there was plenty of founding fathers that were not only against slavery, but they didn't own any slaves.
Stop. I said white supremacy. Abraham Lincoln didn't own slaves, but he believed in the supremacy of the white race. So when did they stop practicing white supremacy?
Do you believe in just the concept?
I asked your silly ass a question, and I want you to answer, and I'm not going to allow you to deflect. What year? Because you've acknowledged that white supremacy was established. So I'm going to ask you, what year did they stop practicing white supremacy systematically in this country? Let's try it again, sir.
Well, you're mixing and matching all these different things. You tell me, because I need you to clarify your point. You tell me who said this term, white supremacy, and who said black inferiority? Who said that?
Sir?
No, you said something. Let's get specific. Who said it?
Thomas Jefferson has a book called Letters.
Okay, guess what? Not everybody agreed with Thomas Jefferson. Okay? That's what makes this country unique. But other white people fought.
They did agree with him because they elected him president and they still worship him and he's still on currency to this day. So they do accept him. What are you talking about?
I said that there were other Americans at the time. He was president for however long he was president, then he was gone. There were other ideas that came after him. And there was also, he's a complicated person. There's also things that he did that were valuable to you.
Abraham Lincoln, sir, said he believed the supremacy of the white race. If you want to Google that right now, you can look that up now. The Supreme Court decision, Taney versus Dred Scott, or the Judge Taney, the Dred Scott decision. You can look that up now and find out what they said about white supremacy and black inferiority. This is a document that's on record.
Right. But the Italian immigrants and the Jewish immigrants and the Irish immigrants that were treated like shit helped to fight for you. And that's what helped the movement begin.
You've never fought for foundational black Americans. The only thing Italians did for foundational black Americans was put drugs in our community and take the numbers racket from the black people who created it.
They did not take the numbers racket. That's ridiculous. There was prohibition in 1920. The blacks were barely in the cities at that time.
Yes, they did.
They came to the cities.
They got the numbers racket from black people. This is very well documented. They got the numbers racket from black people. Black people were doing the numbers racket, and the Italians got that from black people. Look up the Jones brothers. Please understand history, sir. This is why you need to learn. If you don't,
I'm not talking about a numbers game. Who cares about numbers? That's little boy shit.
Okay, see now
he don't want to talk about what's the numbers game. You see what I'm saying? Like they know they can't do that talking point. They've been stealing everything from us. We can go all the way down the motherfucking line with it. You know what I'm saying? Like they be really trying to play with us. You know what I mean? They can't mess with us, man. We the realists. We built this motherfucker.
You're just dancing and dipping and diving. See, this is why if you need to learn history, just sit down and learn history and don't babble. This is why you failed in Italy, sir, because you weren't listening and learning. This is why you had to come flee and eat off us. If you listen and learn, maybe you could have built your country up back home and you wouldn't have the Colosseum still raggedy and everything toe up over there.
Everybody knows the numbers game is little boy shit. We had gambling. We had gambling houses. We had prohibition. You learned from us.
No, we don't want to learn how to be criminals. That's not a good thing. Nobody wanted to learn how to be criminals. Black people, for the most part, we tried to walk the straight and narrow for the most part. We didn't want to be degenerates. We're moral people for the most part. We had the civil rights movement. We fought for everybody. Notice everything you brag about in your culture is criminality. Notice that?
You must have missed half of what I said. I talked about labor laws. I talked about...
That was controlled by the mafia. Those Teamsters, you've always had a criminal element within your culture. You're talking about labor laws. You're talking about the Teamsters, that Jimmy Hoffa, all of that criminal ass stuff that they were doing. They were running rackets, sir. Everything in the culture you're bragging about is all about scamming, rackets, murder, degenerate behavior. Nah, that's not what we want to be about, sir. And that shows the mentality that you have, sir. That's why you failed in your homeland. See, people who have that criminality type of mindset, they're not going to succeed in their homeland. That's why you had to come around moral people in order to thrive. So you're welcome.
Right. Jay-Z didn't succeed, right?
Jay-Z is a great success in spite of
right. All the most successful black people, half of them came from the street. What are you talking about?
And
that was the whole point. Italian American.
I will give you that, but we had to get in the streets based on circumstances. A lot of us were forced into the street game. based on systematic deprivation. But we got out and we started doing good for ourselves in spite of systematic white supremacy. You were able to be a criminal because of white supremacy, because of corrupt cops and corrupt judges. So you just had a whole degenerate thing going on all around the board.
No, we knew how to organize and get tough.
You
help create all the things you just...
You knew how to use your whiteness. You use your whiteness. You got to pass, because the only reason you were able to get away with all of that damn criminality is because of your whiteness. The white supremacist code. That's the only thing. Don't act like you were so tough and you were so this and so that, because you didn't do none of it in Italy. You had to come around here to eat off foundational Black Americans and get on the white supremacist code in order to come up. And y'all can dance around that all you want to, but white supremacy is an affirmative action program for people who are classified as white. And you know that. And without that system of white supremacy lifting you up and giving you your daily bread, you would be a complete failure. You would be back over there in Italy, eating some ravioli, picking headlights out of your scalp.
Didn't Madam C.J. Walker actually start a business because she had so much fucking dandruff in her head? That's why she became a millionaire?
Great question.
And you're talking to me about dandruff, bro?
Okay. You know why Madam C.J. Walker's hair was falling out? Because dirty, degenerate white supremacists.
Damn, he scooped low with that one, didn't he? Damn, white boy.
Bread, you would be a complete failure. You would be back over there in Italy,
when he said that.
eating some ravioli,
trying to take a low boy at Madam
CJ out of the scalp.
Come on.
Failure. You would be back over there in Italy, eating some ravioli, picking headlights out of your scalp.
Didn't Madam C.J. Walker actually start a business because she had so much fucking dandruff in her head? That's why she became a millionaire?
Great question.
And you're talking to me about dandruff, bro?
Okay. You know why Madam C.J. Walker's hair was falling out? Because dirty, degenerate white supremacists, after slavery, they were going around the South selling snake oil hair products to Black women with all types of harsh chemicals in them. And Black women were putting this stuff in their heads, and it was making their hair fall out. So Black women like Annie Malone and Madam C.J. Walker started to go into the woods and go to the root people and get herbs and medicines to create hair grease and hair tonics that would heal their scalps and grow their hair. And these people became millionaires without the help of the white supremacists.
I mean, like I said, you just say whatever I've noticed about you, so you'll just say anything.
And Google what I just said, sir.
I have. It's not what it is. She had a bad scalp problem, and you talk about things with Italian Americans.
Your white brethren were selling people like her bad hair products. Your degenerate ass family was selling Black women harsh chemicals, taking their hair out, sir. So notice everything we find out about your culture is degenerate, sir. You don't help us at all. It's all degenerate. You're talking about you help foundational Black Americans. You flood our communities with drugs and heroin. That didn't help us. That was a hindrance to us, sir. And then you want to brag about creating a degenerate cycle within our community? That makes you sound like
Black people were begging Italians to work with them. I don't know. Again, you have all your facts wrong because you're in a book all the time.
Sir, we couldn't work around you because this was during the Jim Crow era. So Black people were not really allowed around you guys like that in large numbers. And you guys have always segregated yourself, especially in New York. Those Italian neighborhoods were very segregated. I don't know where you're talking about all of this helping Black people. You guys were so segregated from us in Chicago, in New York, and all the other major cities. You went out of your way to segregate yourselves from foundational Black Americans. And many of the Italians were attacking Black people who just happened to wander in certain towns. So, sir, let's not play that game where you were helping us. You were some of the main people harming us all across the board.
Well, you look at everybody as the same thing. Like, that's like me saying that because there's a Black fucking person that's got a slave in Africa right now that I should hold you responsible for that because you have the same skin color or the same
I don't know where you're going, sir. At this point, you're just doing mayonnaise babble. So what I'm going to do, sir, I understand you probably have some beef ravioli that you can microwave somewhere. So go ahead and take you a nice nap, sir. Your rice-a-roni, beef-a-roni, Chef Boyardee. Eat you an empanada with some ragu sauce, whatever you do. But it's been real. So you have a good night, sir. All right.
That nigga Tariq, man. We're gonna get to the next part of the bill. How America is the Negro continent. We're gonna take a quick 2-minute break. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Leave it on. You go get you something to drink. You know what I mean? Do what you need to do. You feel me? We'll be back in 2 minutes. Hit the like button.
So dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them townhomes. What's a native to a native? Eat $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God or Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English plotted on our homes. Tribal families turned on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to something. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. Say you wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. You stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the sauce. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust the pastor who rather side with the master, who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God is never our vernacular. They get
in the chat, y'all. Let's get it. I want y'all to hit that like button. Let's keep it going.
Cover ain't more than 800 square miles of Mayan biospheres reserved in northern Guatemala. All together are the largest LiDAR data set ever to be used in archaeology research, according to right now. Check this out: 60,000 structures. Right now, they don't have no. What's the name of the structures? But they telling you, maybe they do got some footage of it. I was looking for some footage of it. This is basically what it looks like right here. All right, it says Guatemala Mayan society future a huge megalopolis. It's a LiDAR. All right, so this is what they said. Now they said 60,000. This shit blew my mind when Chief Holiday told me. I'm like, what? 60,000 structures? What the fuck? 1,000. Now, let's read some more. All right, here we go. All right, so it said LiDAR images make it clear that the entire region was a settlement system whose scale and population density has been grossly underestimated. Thomas Garrison of the Inca College, archaeologist and National Geographic explorer specialized in applying technology like LiDAR, told National Geographic, let the archaeologists to digitally erase the jungle top canopy from an aerial image, essentially photoshopping them out without the canopy in the way. The massive pre-Columbian was revealed for the first time in centuries. What the researchers saw appends assumptions about
pre-Columbian life. We've had this Western concept that complex civilization can't flourish in the topics are where civilizations go to die. Tulane University archaeologist Marcelo and Canuto, it's a geographic explorer, told National Geographic, but with the radar-based evidence from the Central America, we now have to consider that the complex society may have the topics and made their way outward from there. Check this out, right? All right, now let me see. I'm gonna read some more. All right, so at its peak. Fuck, man. Somebody come and try to debunk peanuts far from the regions where it's typically grown, around 8,000 years old. It's and cotton balls around 6,000 years old. Now, if you want to hear more about this, look, we're doing in Peru. All right. Now, to take these ins and these drawings seriously, because whoever did this, why if the people here was white with straight hair and short little Mexican looking people, why would they depict people as being Negroes? Why? Why would they depict them like this? Now, this is not even the only one. Check this out. Like I said, this is Paraguay. This motherfucker has an afro. I don't care what you want to say. This little boy right here has an afro as well. Look, these are Negro with the feather crown on, like we see here in North America. That was in Virginia and in other places in the Americas. All right, because we also see the New York still had a man with a feather crown on, right? Now check that out. Let me see. Now check this out. This is the Yucatan Peninsula, right? Where we find Naya at. Now we find not Yucatan. It's a Yucatan, Guatemala. Look at these motherfuckers. This nigga has an afro, man. This man has an afro, okay? Look at this. We know these are fictionary characters, right? These Europeans. We know that they out of place. But if look at the Guatemalans, look at this. This man right here is a fucking Negro. You could sit here and say, well, that's just drawing. No, that's somebody seen that when they came here. Somebody seen that image when they came here. This is not no, oh, well, somebody drew this just for the hell of it. Why would they depict a motherfucking Negro here? A free Negro at that. All right, this Yucatan, Guatemala, where they find, where we go. Smithsonian Institute, man. You can't lose with this one, man. You know, even though we got guys that sit up here saying, well, the people, the Negroes that they found in the Americas had straight hair. Well, I have yet to see any Negroes with any straight hair. In fact, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you the Chutilla mummies. And I already did a video on the Chutilla mummies that's in Peru. And I already showed you. I know that this is kind of getting redundant. I keep showing the same research as far as this article right here. But you got to show this article because you experts that's telling you this. And even when they show you Luzia, right? You got the expert, Richard Neves, is telling you that this is a Negro. But the Amin Ra squad, the Dagger squad will say, oh, no, that's an Australianoid. Who are you to go over what the expert said? Now, he ain't even the only person. We got Samuel Morton, who made the Aboriginal, the book about the Aboriginal races of America. And he's telling you the physiognomy is that of an Indian, of a Negro. What's he saying that? Why is he saying that? Why is he saying? He made a mistake, and that needs to be updated. It needs to be updated because you're wrong about what you're talking about. Now I say the skull of Naya on the floor of the Hoya Negro as appeared December in 2011, having rolled into nearly an upright position. All right. Now this is in the Yucatan Peninsula. Now what I just showed you the images of in the Yucatan. Look. Now, diver Susan Bird works on the bottom of the Hoya Negro, a large dome-shaped underwater cave on Mexico Yucatan Peninsula. She carefully pisses off the humans all found at the site where, while her timbers take detailed photographs. All right. So now what did I just show you? I just showed you people in Yucatan. Now you have to listen. Shout out to my brother nonetheless. This is a motherfucking crime scene, okay? Because they covering up a lot of this shit. We know damn well those people that's in Mexico now ain't have nothing to do with none of the shit that they found. They got nothing to do with it. The people in Peru are not the Peruvian or the Aboriginal Peruvians that was there. They are not. Now, how can I substantiate claim? All right, check this out. See this? These are what they call the Chuchilla mummies. See this? Motherfucker got locks, okay? Go to Peru and show me one person who have locks in their hair. Just show me one of the Peruvians that there now with locks in their hair. Show me. Because understand this, right? It's just so ironic that the people who's supposed to be from Africa are the only people who rock all these different hairstyles. Now, this is just a claim. You at some point in time, you gotta start taking these claims serious because you have to say, well, damn, why the so-called African American wearing dreadlocks, braids, mohawks, afro, wearing all of the stuff that you seen the people in America wear, and we ain't got no African heritage. We don't do none of the shit that Africans do. But we do all of the shit that the people in America did. We do all of the shit that the people here in America do. And now we waking up calling ourselves Aborigines of America. And then people sitting up there saying, they get idiots. It's facts. It's facts. Whether you want to look at this man right here. These are locks. Now you're gonna have somebody come and try to debunk it. And they still connect themselves to the Egyptians, then you see over here with images that all right, like I said, we know some with you 100 times, Peru, etc. Right? So let's go ahead. Let's go to something different.
I'm gonna stop the bill right here, man. It was a fire bill. Don't be worried, man. The brother y'all listening to, which is a Tonsinist one, I'm gonna have him come on the show. You know what I'm saying? One of the legends when it comes to this information. I'm going to have him come feature on the show probably this week. So y'all be in tune for that. It's going to be a fire. He's going to come to screen share. He's going to blow y'all away with the facts that he's going to bring, man. Shout out to that brother. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. About to get ready to get out of here. Do I want to open up the phone lines or not, man? I don't know. Y'all gotta motivate me. Drop some fire emojis in the chat. You know what I mean? Drop some fire emojis in the chat. Support the cause, man. Support the movement. For those that want to donate, the link is ticking across the bottom of the screen. It's at the bottom of the screen. So make sure y'all support the cause, man. Keep waking up, brothers and sisters. I don't know if I want to open up the phone. It's snowing like crazy up my way in the Northeast. Yeah, let's get ready to get out of here, man. We're going to play some fire before we get out of here. I will have the Aboriginal playlist, all the Aboriginal music and content that y'all hear. I'm going to put together a nice playlist. Y'all be able to check that out on the channel as well. So make sure y'all tune in. So let's get it, y'all.
Once again, it's time. Yeah.
It's King Isaiah, I'm demanding respect. I see everybody balling till it's time to connect. I see everybody kill us till you hand them a tech. The cops read them they rights, nightsticks to their neck. 2 minutes chasing the check instead of checking priorities. Flexing heavy on the ground, but you still a minority. Fucking whips, your chains, or anything that came out.
All right, listen, I'll do y'all a favor. I'll open up the phone lines. We'll give y'all a few minutes in. Let me turn up and open up the phone lines right quick. Let me open up the phone line. I gotta support the channel, man. Support the cause, man. For the time and content. Let me drop this. Let me drop the call number. I'm dropping once. Boom, it's in there. It's pinned in the chat as well. So all you gotta do is go to the pinned comment. And the number's right there. Call in the Wake and Bake Show. The number's in there. All right, let's get back to my jammy jam. Y'all almost fucked up my little jammy jam. Let's get back to it.
That came after misleading black people, you a fucking slave master. This is Genesis, I'm flipping the page backwards. Listen to intuition, we ain't got the same pastors. Me, I follow no man, I can't be programmed. This soul food set the mood like a fucking slow jam. It's time to eat up. I'm 10 toes down, who gon' defeat us? I'm living gold, aboriginal, check my features. Who gon' speak up? I turn up and blow speakers, my own teacher. I grew up with no leaders, can't trust people, cause they ain't telling the whole truth. Get directions to heaven, but you live in the hell too.
All right. Who we got calling? Let's see. Let's see who we get calling. Let's get it going. We got some callers calling in. Let's get it going already, you guys. Let's see what's going on. Shit. What's some of these Africans that call in? Somebody call in. Hit the call in. But shout out to Craig for donating to the Cash App. So supporting the $1 challenge. How about, man, we got 400 people here, man. Y'all support the channel, man. $1. Support the channel. The link's on the screen at the bottom right of the screen. And it's also ticking across the screen. Y'all let's get some callers in, y'all. Am I missing the calls? My shit don't do not disturb or something? Hello, what's your name? Where you calling from? You calling on the Wake and Bake Show. What's up? Hey, Jasmine.
What up, brother? Howdy to the people. No, I just wanted to touch on a couple things real quick. I said it in the chat earlier, but when the brother was speaking about just, the aesthetic look of the Black American Aborigine, y'all know I'm half and half, but I'm not here to talk about my other half. I'm here to talk about this half. So, one thing, like, just look at the Aboriginal Black American. It's a different look. It's a look. You know what I'm saying? It's a look. In fact, you're surprised when you see a native born African with Black American features. Close my door. There we go. So, yeah, no, when you see a native born African with Black American features, then you ask questions like, where the fuck are you really from?
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you just look at the brothers and sisters. Like, it's a look. You feel me? It's a whole look. Like, you from here. You don't have this from here. So, yeah. But, hey, it's fire bill, brother.
I appreciate it. I appreciate
Absolutely.
you, Sister Jazz. I appreciate you for calling in. And you drop some fat heat though. You know what I mean? We got a distinct look, yeah. you know. Let me get to a couple of these callers. What'd you say, sis?
Well, I just said a distinct look, brother, but I support the show. I support y'all, and keep doing your thing.
I appreciate it. All love, peace and bliss.
All right now.
Let's get to the next couple callers, man. Call in. Y'all call in. Shout out to Beverly with the Cash App donation as well. Shout out to Beverly Grintry. I hope I pronounced that right. I fucked it up. I appreciate that. Support the channel, y'all. I do appreciate the donation. Let's get to 919 area code. Hello. State your name. You hung up. I don't know what's up with that. Let's get 919 area code back in here. Shout out to Nubian DNA as well. Shout out to Nubian DNA with the Cash App donation as well. Shout out to Nubian DNA. So support the channel, you guys. Got a couple people calling in. It's leaving missed calls, though. I don't see no calls coming in, though. What's going on with that? Shout out to Shy Alpha, too, for the Cash Out donations. He said, play some Threads 3000. I am going to play that Threads 3000 for you. Callers, call in. Callers, call in. Let's drop that show. This is the Wake and Bake Show, you guys. This is the Wake and Bake Show. We're giving out free smoke. Anybody want to challenge the information, call in. All right, we got a couple call-ins. Let's get it. 301 area code. 301 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from? So, brother, Aboriginal Power.
Yeah. How you doing, brother? I'm living from the DC area. I'm up in Maryland. How you doing, brother?
Shout out to DC. What's going on, Slim?
Not much, man. I'm a 62-year-old brother. I've come to my own. To a lot of brothers like your own brothers. Y'all continue to do. Y'all continue to bust these people out who's coming over here, claiming our stuff, our land, our spirit, our heritage, and everything. But can't go in their area, their environment, their home, overseas or here to start a business or anything else. So we know who we are. They know who we are. Africans know who we are. But when they go to the UN, they sit up there and talk about their folks. They don't never fight for us. No one fights for us. But we have to fight for ourselves.
Absolutely.
So, brother, keep doing what you're doing. Keep on bringing these young brothers and sisters up. Keep on being real to all others that is not us. Because we're supposed to be a light in the world. We don't supposed to be different to us. We're supposed to get our power. And then we're supposed to raise the world. We're supposed to be a light in this world. Our creator created all things. And people must understand that, but they have to keep things stopped and keep us stopped because they don't want us to wake up and know how.
That's a fact.
So we must continue to teach us and continue to rise us up, even those weaknesses. I was raised in the neighborhood that we raised up our stuff to make them partners with us, make them strong like us. But they want to stop us. So those of us who don't have wisdom and knowledge, because at one time I didn't have the knowledge of this past.
That's right.
You understand? But now I do. I know who we are. I know my descendants. I know about Turtle Island. I know each. My nephew turned me on this stuff. And now.
Hey, and blessings for your nephews. Shout out to them. Shout out to your nephews for spreading that. That's what we need y'all for in the chat. We need y'all to spread that.
Yes. But you know one thing I learned? He said no man is going to teach us who we are. He's teaching us our land and our knowledge is idea. They know that. They hide all our information in the mountains of Colorado and all these places where they got gold. That. You know, we hear everything is just here. They think backwards everything. I get this job, brother. And learning that from somewhere from your youth. Being born, you weren't born, you know. You told you. No, that's why the Most High blessed you. You understand me? Because you told you this thing. Because you truly this thing. And all other brothers. There are a lot of brothers that's not where you at. Bring them up to where you at, brother. More knowledge, more knowledge. I love you, man.
Hey, it's all love, brother. Peace and blessings, man. I appreciate you for calling in. Peace.
Yes, indeed. I thought I was going to never get in, man. I ain't never called a place like I ain't never called a brother. I ain't never done this before. And I'm looking, and I see my name up there. I type stuff, and it makes me feel so. Oh, man.
Hey, you got through, bro. The line's open. When it's open, I'm going to answer, brother.
God
Let's get it.
You, man. I'll be following you, man. You're so a warrior. Man. God bless you.
Hey, peace and blessings, brother. Peace. Hey, Levi Archie, fix your mama bussy. Cause you's a motherfucking foreigner in my land, Mark. Call up. All the callers call in, call in. Let's get some callers in. Let's get some callers in the line, call in. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. All your proud Aborigines and your proud FBA brothers and sisters, man. Hey, drop them fire emojis in the chat. Support the channel. You understand me? Okay, let's get it. Call in. The call-in number is in the chat pin. So let's get some call-in. So we're gonna get ready to end. I appreciate everybody for supporting the channel and coming in. Make sure y'all hit that like button if you didn't on the way out. If you didn't hit it on the way in, hit it on the way out. You understand me? So let's keep it rocking. Let's keep it rocking. Let's keep it going. All right, no call in. But shit, we'll get ready to end the show here in just a second, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all drop those fire emojis before we get out of here. I want to see it flooded. I want to see the chat flooded with them proud FBAs and proud Aborigines that's getting on the board, getting on one string and making things happen. Let's get it.
But I hate it either way. They trying to crucify me. In my crown, they knowing that I'm a king. They know me crossed too many times, whipped and hung from trees. I am my ancestors from the past that them bled, and now we here resurrected, bitch. I'm back with the dead, immortal. They can't kill me, I'm forever on the rise. They despise my genetics, it's something special about my kind. I'm descendant of the ones in the tombs. Brown babies coming from wombs, in tune with the sun and the moon. You feel me? If it ain't clear, it's time to switch optics. Cause ignorance got us moving in fear, and that bring them big profits. But I'm a prophet, so I kick knowledge. Cause the shit that you hearing on the radio got us misguided. They got our goddesses hating they real bodies, and the gods getting high off lean and pill popping. Bodies are still dropping. Is you paying attention? I guess not. You still paying to listen. I move different in my true image. Just too many projecting hate. Who gon' lift the whole world up and tell them they great? Who gon' tell everybody getting money, but who's spreading the bait? So we can buy back the block, start to better this place. Cause our skin tones is dark, it's divine mastery. The half room from my dome defies gravity, yeah. The real rulers of earth rebirth humanity. Facts. The queen's high supreme, call her your majesty. Facts. You better batter me, listen, don't be a casualty. Fuck a colonizer, we guardians of the galaxy. They super late. Bitch, I move truth, fuck moving weight. Earth is our true estate, to let our lights illuminate and prosper. I promise I'm passionate with my power. I'm writing all my wrongs and balancing every chakra. Who gon' stop them? A dead at try. Fucking with reason you so scared to fly is cause you scared to die. But I exist on dimensions beyond this plane. You thinking it's all a game. When you open up your eyes, your energy start to change. We still traumatized and healing from all the pain. It's good versus evil, our enemies all the same. So I'm 10 toes down with my feet in the dirt. But when I leave Earth, you still hear me speaking this verse. His music is all my scriptures I've been keeping since birth. When I spoke them into existence, I was seeing my worth. My purpose is my perspective. I'm serving a higher message. A piece of the most high is written in my genetics. I speak for my soul tribe. We shed a divine essence, releasing the soul ties to whatever we find negative light. Instead of bashing out women, we heal with them. Instead of running from problems, we deal with them. Hey, instead of killing our brothers, we build with them. So, fuck the illusions, we seeing the real picture we hear. It's more spiritual than physical, nigga. If you ain't trying to bring change, you invisible, nigga, for real. My message lives, it's invincible, nigga. And fuck being rich if you ain't got no principles, nigga. Prayer.
Hey, let me say something real quick. All these years we've been calling each other niggas and they think we tripping. Have our own kind looking at us with resentment, but listen. You see, we not slaves, but we are the descendants. But this is a new age, so it's time to transition. Nigga means noble individual, grace and godly ambition. Because we always make gold out of the labels that they give us. Because this is our land, we were the first that ever existed. So respect your temple, honor your pigment. From the motherland to the other land.